I like that already sounds better. Now say some
Yeah.
things.
Chickadee check 1, 2. You listen to Clemente's Corner, Cold Coors Light.
Cacao.
Cacao!
This podcast is brought to you by Natural Light. It's the only beer I can afford.
Haha. I assumed that these were 360 degree.
Yeah, I mean,
Say la vie.
they should be, right?
Get on your shit, Newer.
It's kind of weird they're not.
NW800s.
But yeah, we had the mic turned the wrong way, and I deleted that audio.
Send them some microphones. Be a sponsor.
Yes, Newer, please sponsor me.
The
I don't know how you would even hear this.
microphones facing one direction.
Oh, great band. They need to get back together.
I
think I have to reintroduce you. I'm here with Thomas Thompson. He is the host at the 806 Open Mic, the longest running open mic in Texas, I think, or is it the second?
Second. In
Second
Texas.
longest running open
As
mic
far as I know.
in Texas. And Texas is the biggest state in the world, so check that shit, bro. And also,
right behind Alaska, but we're livable.
Alaska doesn't count.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all got Palin. The worst we got to deal with is Ted Cruz.
Also, badass poet, and you didn't even know it unless you heard the last episode. Then you probably knew it.
That's facts. I'm sure that was discussed. It's been a while since I've listened back to that episode.
It has been a minute.
No, that's not true. I guess it's been a couple of weeks since I've listened to it. I guess since
Really?
I knew I was coming back on.
Nice.
Completely forgot about the Alex Jones.
That was great.
rap.
That was a great rap.
I listened back to it thinking, oh, this is probably going to be corny and fucked off and shittier than I remember. And no, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good podcast, man.
I've kicked worse freestyles. I've heard worse podcasts. I've done worse podcasts.
That was a great freestyle, honestly.
Thank you.
As
you.
Alex Jones, it all rhymed. It went well together. Sarah Huckabee Sanders
This
reference.
is propaganda, slander, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Silliness. Straight silliness.
Oh, yeah.
Now that I think about it, the last podcast I was on was probably Skylar's shout out to the Weekly Relapse,
Yeah.
Skylar Potter, with Jordan Hare, who I believe you've had on here before.
Yeah, I had Jordan on not too long. Him and Colin.
That's a fun combo.
We did a 4-hour episode, but it was super fun.
Jesus, 4 hours.
Because Colin goes into Jesse Ventura impressions,
I could see Colin
and I laugh hysterically.
doing a pretty good Jesse Ventura, as well as being educated enough that he could keep up with it from his
Yeah, man.
wrestling career to governorship.
He just goes off on random tangents, and they're so fucking hilarious.
Unbelievably intelligent guy.
Definitely,
Shout out
definitely.
Colin Robinson. Hella funny guy. Hella educated.
Yeah.
He's been working his ass off the past couple of weeks, so we haven't seen much of him. But we miss you.
We do miss you. Here's one of my favorite jokes ever when he does a black comic impression.
Oh,
So funny,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's how I would do a black comic. The first time he did it, I think the first time I saw it was at the 806 open mic, and Nakia followed him.
Oh, yeah.
And it was fucking great and that's how I would do a black comic. No, follow me, an actually black comic. And I just kind of looked at him, and it was one of the first time I had seen him, and I was like, you either just stepped on nails or you can walk on nails, and I don't know which one
He
yet.
can walk on nails. That's what that means. That's what that means.
He did it beautifully.
The key is super funny too.
Oh yeah.
Just natural.
The comedy scene right now is looking really, really good.
Yeah, except we're losing our black girl. So
Is Nakia going out the way?
yeah, she's moving to Dallas.
Oh, where it's not like prison or something like that?
Nah.
Oh, good.
Racist.
I guess I've gone to Dallas for a while. At least it's not a farm upstate or something like that.
But we did our show at Urbana Saturday in front of like one lady. But we have a new guy. I can't remember his name. Well, we just added a guy to the group.
All right.
Yeah.
It'll come to you.
Yeah. Short black guy. I told him he reminded me of Danny Brown. So.
That's not necessarily a compliment as far as looks go.
Yeah.
Danny Brown looking fool.
Well, they're
Goofy
both
ass smile.
they're both missing their two front teeth.
That's what I was thinking.
But he was funny, man. Like he was with Chase at the last open mic,
Okay.
and he showed up to Urbana, and I was like, "Hey, man, just go up and do a set." And he's like, "Sure." and he just did probably 2 minutes,
Okay.
just kind of talking about his life, and it was funny.
So, as far as the Urbana show, how is it set up? It's some of it's improv, some of it's roast.
Yeah,
some
what I
of
did
it's-
is I straight up copied the Lubbock Laugh Off.
Okay.
So you do 3 minutes of stand-up comedy.
Written.
Yeah. And then you answer improv questions one at a time. And then you just try to be as funny as possible.
Who asked you the improv questions?
Well, I was the host, so I asked
Okay.
I asked improv questions. And then you end, everybody lines up, and you just do like a roast battle. So you roast each person. And then the next person goes up and roasts each person.
So you roast the whole group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was not there to see it, but apparently Chase killed the one before this and was awfully proud. But apparently she may have had some comeuppance at this last one. Skylar seemed pretty proud of his performance.
Oh yeah, Skylar roasted the shit out of her. Because what happened, since there was no one in the audience, we all finished the roasts. I participated in the roast, even though I'm the host, because it was fun. But I just asked the lady. I was like, all right, you got to choose who did the best, and she was like, it's between those two at the end, and it was Chase and Skylar. So I was
Okay.
like, all right, we're gonna do 1-on-1 now. It's like, I'll give Skylar the mic for him first, and then Skylar was talking his shit, and it was funny. He gave the mic back to Chase, and she really didn't have anything to say. She wasn't ready at all, and so he just kept going in on her.
When Skylar's
was
on,
hilarious.
Skylar's on.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
thing.
It's
Like,
hard to argue and fight with that.
Skylar hasn't been wanting to do the Lubbock Laugh Off because he's like, I'm not good at roasting, and he just went and roasted
Skylar
Chase
loves talking
really
shit.
easily. Exactly. Come on, dude.
He just doesn't want to do it in front of an audience and be mean about it. Because if it's just friend to friend in a room,
Yeah.
that's just talking shit. But
Yeah.
if it's like this, and this about your looks and about your skin
Yeah.
color, your personality, or what the fuck ever, now it's personal.
The roast battle's fun, man. The one we did in Lubbock was awesome. I didn't win, but it was
that
fun.
kind of like a competitive Amarillo versus Lubbock type of situation?
That's the way it was supposed to be set up, but then things started falling through. The guy who was initially setting up the shows moved. Landry moved away, and the guy he was working with at Urbana moved away. So now it's just kind of on me. So I kind of have the freedom to do whatever. So I'm just trying to set it up the way he was trying to set it up now.
Man, that's not a bad way to go about it. Back when we actively did poetry slams, we got contacted by a couple of people in Lubbock to come down there, basically do an Amarillo versus Lubbock slam and kind of show them how everything's done. It was a terrible idea because we were like 4 or 5 years into touring and doing shows and writing books, and they're like, we've got some college students that just took creative writing. They're feeling really inspired.
Nice.
Would you come and compete against us? It might be hard for you because you'll be on our home turf. And we're like, bro, we tour. The chances are we're not on our home turf.
Yeah.
Like, this is an away game. It's nothing special. And we thoroughly ran those people through the mud.
Is it similar to a roast? Like you just
The way that a slam works out is, let's say it's not a team slam. Team slams are a little different, but let's say it's just an open slam. You would normally have 12 poets. They go up and they perform a 3-minute poem with a 10-second grace period, kind of to allow for pauses or like if the crowd's too fucking loud or
Yeah.
something like that. After 3 minutes, 10 seconds, you start getting deducted points. You find 5 random judges in the audience, preferably people who don't know anything about poetry. The best judge is someone who thinks poetry is roses are red, violets are blue. Because they'll be surprised and then they'll be
Yeah.
interested and like, oh,
That
this,
makes sense.
this person actually has something to say.
Yeah.
Make sure that they don't know any of the performers so there's no bias. You pick 5 of those, give them scorecards, tell them to judge you 0.0 to 10.0 Olympic style.
But then that could be a disadvantage if they're like total dumbasses, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is not an even playing field. you have to judge your crowd. If kind of like jokes, if I go out and it's all Southern rednecks that are my judges, I'm probably not going to do like my Black Liberation piece.
Yeah.
I'll do the one that my I Love America piece, and that'll probably do better. You get judged Olympic style. You drop the high score, you drop the low score to help with bias, just in case you handed the scorecard to a racist or something. Average those together. Everybody goes. Out of those 12 poets, the top 5 go on to the second round, do the same thing. Top 3 go on to the final round. Your first 2 scores get added together. So you could bomb on the first one and kill on the second one, and your collective score might be enough to put you in the top 3.
But the poem itself, it doesn't have to be a certain topic or anything.
Nope. Most slams run pretty similar to how I run the open mic. Don't be racist, don't be homophobic, don't be sexist.
But but are you mentioning the other team in your poem?
Nope, you could.
Okay. So how would you?
So
when it goes with like art, how would you decide like this poem outdid this poem?
So some hosts will tell the judges designate 5 points to how good the writing is, and designate 5 points to how good the performance was. How good the performance was and how good the writing is subjective as fuck. Everyone's going to give you a different opinion.
Yeah.
That's kind of it's, even if you go up and kill, it's still a little bit of a crapshoot, because if 95 people in the room loved you, but the 5 people in the room that hated you were all the judges, sorry about you, man. Popularity doesn't win. Look at our president.
Popular vote.
But as far as a team slam goes, we set it up. We'd have 4 people, and they'd have 4 people, and all 4 people on both sides went 4 rounds, and then we just tallied up scores. But they got demolished. It was very much the mentality of like, why would you heckle a comic? Like, why would you come up to a comic and scream at them? They're on a microphone because they're better at this than you. They challenged people that they shouldn't have. This poor kid on the Lubbock team, picture the nerdiest gentleman you could picture, like pocket protector with his pins in it, glasses, but the nose is broken, it's fixed with masking tape, and he did a whole like 2.5 minutes about how drugs are they're slowing down and inhibiting any creativity in the Lubbock scene. So he suggests that
party pooper.
We should do a joint of inspiration, because people do joints. Do a joint of inspiration.
I'd love to smoke some inspiration.
I want. Is it a powder? Is it like a plant form? Is it like a tab you put on your tongue? And
see that's the best inspiration.
Facts.
I honestly, when I tried to do acid, I was like, I'm going to try to write down ideas. But I was tripping way too hard to even like reach for a pen.
You're way better off turning on a voice recorder or a mic and just rambling and listen back to it the next day.
That makes more sense.
However, I try not to have my phone on me, or I try and make everyone put their phones in a fishbowl type of situation.
But your phone looks so cool.
Oh yeah, your phone's a blast. However, if you're balls deep in a trip and your mom calls you to tell you that your little sister was in an accident, that news could have waited like 12 hours.
I think it was.
You don't need to have that information right away.
It was either Skylar or Duncan, or maybe it was both of them. Like every time they would do mushrooms, somebody's mom would call. Like something serious would happen.
Yep, this is why I put my phone away.
That's smart, man.
Like, because even if it's your dad was in a car accident and died, cool. That sucks. I can't do anything about it. He's dead.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If I find that information out now, though, I'm going to go down a spiral. Like, I'm pretty successful with recognizing that I'm about to have a bad trip and pulling myself out of it. Because most bad trips can be solved with just a situation change. If the lights are off and you're having a bad trip, turn on the fucking lights. If the lights are on, you're having a bad trip, turn them off. Like, that will normally fix your situation. Change the song that's playing.
Yeah.
Call a friend. And I guarantee you, to anyone who is ever having a bad trip, just call one of your friends and say, hey, bro, I'm just freaking out a little bit. I love you to death. And they'll go, oh, man, yeah, I love you too. And you'll immediately be better. And
That's
then you
funny.
can hang up on them and explain to them tomorrow, yeah, I was freaking out and I called you. And they'll say, thanks for calling me, man. I'm glad you're okay. How was it? Oh, it was great.
The first time I did mushrooms, I called my girlfriend at the time, and I just, like, wasn't saying anything. I was just laying there tripping. And she was like, all right, I'm going to hang up now. I forgot you were there. My bad.
When I was living in Georgetown, I dated a lady. I think we talked about her on the last one. She was the longest relationship that I had ever had. Every relationship I had had before then was like a month, 2 months, if that. But I had been dating this lady for about a year.
And
or
her
so.
sister went to space.
Yeah, she's theoretically gonna go to space.
Okay.
But yeah, we haven't made it to Mars yet.
She's got to wait on Elon Musk.
Yeah, she's got to wait on Elon, that pot smoking dumbass.
Did you see that meme where it said, I should just make my own fucking NASA? He's like holding the joint.
He didn't even hit it properly.
Yeah.
He looked like every kid in middle school that was like
That's exactly,
doesn't inhale, like he's like
exactly
the
how-
weed doesn't work on me, I guess.
It's exactly how Bill Clinton described it.
Exactly, he didn't inhale.
But there are always those people. Then they smoke it.
Yeah, absolutely.
They smoke it for like the first or second time. They're always like, it doesn't get me high. I don't know what it is, man.
Like you just got a strong constitution. Like, no, bro, you I try to explain to people, like, there's two different sucking motions your mouth can make, and when that doesn't work with them, I'm like, you don't do the same motion to suck a drink out of a McDonald's cup out of a straw that you do when you breathe. Otherwise, you'd breathe liquid. You need to breathe, not like it's a straw.
Like cigars are the complete opposite.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're not supposed to inhale the cigar, right? You're just supposed to chill on it.
Yeah, but on that Bill Clinton note, he's got a pretty famous cigar story.
Oh, that's funny. Cigars and vaginas, everybody. In case you didn't know. A lot of young people might be listening.
Bill Clinton was the white president before the last black president.
Yeah.
He was a scandalous man for the youngsters out there, but nowhere near where we're at right now. He got a blowjob. Our current president fucks porn stars.
Yeah, way cooler.
Yeah, one of them's when I was in Georgetown, to flip back to tripping out, my girlfriend pretty much moved in the day that we met, and she had been there for like a year. I saw her every single day. We worked together. We lived together.
Didn't y'all like move in together within like 2 weeks?
Within a day.
Yeah, that's crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
it was pretty nuts, but it was cool. I was lonely.
Like, I'll be with a girl for like 3 months, and I'm like, I don't think you can leave your jacket here.
I took her home one night, and she just showed up the next day with like an extra sweater and left it there. And then she showed up with like pants the next day. And she had a wardrobe pretty quickly. But
Those are called demons, Thomas. That's what those are called.
I'm not here to say one way or the other, but she left for a week. And my best friend Garrett, who had drugged me down there, knew that I was kind of lonely and I was freaking out. It's been a separation anxiety from my lady friend. So he says, hey man, let's take some acid. I'll come over. It'll be just me and you. I'll bring my TV. We'll watch Louis C.K. and then we'll watch Stephen Hawking documentary.
Speaking of Louis, have you seen his older sitcom? Like before Louis? It was called Lucky Louie.
The one with Sarah Silverman?
I think she was in it.
Sarah Silverman played his girlfriend. Or if it wasn't Sarah Silverman, it was a real thin brunette lady.
She's a really pretty lady. I don't know her.
Okay.
I don't know what her name.
But I'm familiar with Lucky Louie.
But yeah, she's famous because I've seen her in other roles. But no, that show's actually really funny. Like a friend told me about it. I think it was actually David Toller, the big comedian.
I know David.
Yeah. He told me about the show, and then I started watching it. It's actually super funny.
Have
It's
you
like
watched?
an adult Seinfeld.
Yeah, that's a pretty good description for it. They're like a sad friends. Garrett's whole idea is we're gonna watch this 3-part Stephen Hawking documentary.
That's a long
Where
movie.
yeah, it was a long trip.
That's a long time to just see a guy leaned over in a chair.
It was animated with great graphics. Like it barely had him featured. But
that's good.
But when he popped up, oh man, did we cheese?
I can't even picture what he sounds like anymore.
I'm stuck in a computer.
I'm going to Mars.
Yeah, that's better
And
than mine.
40 light years.
Yeah, he's
I sound more like-
motherfucker's
I sound
on
more like
Mars.
Siri than him,
He
though.
left his body decades ago. But the documentary is every detail of the beginning to the end of the universe, then aliens, then time travel. And we're blown away by this. Then we watch a Louis C.K. bit. I can't remember which. Maybe Oh My God. We have a beautiful trip where we watched the most intelligent man on the face of the earth explain everything to us. Then Louis on the other spectrum, or other end of the spectrum, talking about rolling around and shit with his kids. We finish up with the movies. We go outside. It's probably 2, 3 in the morning. And we're sitting on our porch. We share a fence with this older lady who has a huge garden. Garrett is a gardener. It's 3 in the morning. We're having a cigarette out of our heads. This old lady just out of fucking nowhere goes, "Hey, you know something about carrots, don't you?" And I turned to him. This is my house. This is my neighbor, but he's the one being asked this question. And I go, "You got this, right?" And I booked it around the side of my house and immediately called my girlfriend crying. And was, "I don't know why you're here, but there's a lady asking Garrett about carrots. Garrett, carrots, what?"
Garrett carrots.
I just lost it. She calms me down. I walk back over to the side of the house maybe 3-4 minutes later, and Garrett's looking at me with horror and anger in his face, and he's, "I can't believe that you just left me with your fucking neighbor asking me about carrots, because we're out of our fucking heads."
Yeah,
And I was
man.
just, I can't deal with this lady right now. No one invited her to my 3 o'clock cigarette. And she showed up and terrified the fuck out of us. But I know
Yeah.
the feeling of calling girlfriends when you're tripping.
Dude, you're a great storyteller.
Oh, thank you.
That's why I invited
I'm
you.
long-winded.
I invited you initially because I would just have conversations with you, and you're just like so animated when you talk. You're just like you get sucked in,
Yeah.
and I get sucked in when you get sucked in.
I've got a terrible memory, so it takes me forever to tell a story. But I'm telling a stew with the actual story. I get it from my mom. My dad hates it because I'll try and tell my dad a 30-second story. It'll take 4 fucking minutes, and
That's
he's
funny.
like, "So you saw someone?
Yeah.
Just tell me that, Amy." And I'm like,
Well,
you got me, Dad.
A lot of people do that, but it's like not as entertaining, you know?
well,
they're
shucks.
just like because they say random things that don't have anything to do with anything, and then they'll go off and they'll be like, "Back to the story."
See, the worst bit is when I'm telling story A, it reminds me of like detail B, and detail B reminds me of something else, and I completely fucking forget what I was talking about with story A.
Yeah.
Or what bigger point I was trying to get to. And it drives some of my best friends crazy.
That's
because they've heard all of my stories, or they were there for most of them.
That's what I thought would be like hard about like stand-up comedy is like when I think about ideas, my mind doesn't stop, and I would just go so off topic from what the original joke was supposed to be. I would get in my head about that stuff.
Dude,
But
I have done it to an extent, but I don't write any of my comedy bits. I just go up and tell a story.
yeah,
And again, if a detail or a joke comes up and I distract myself and run off on that tangent, I'm so fucking scared I'm just going to completely forget what the joke was. Or, like, I'll get back to the joke, but now I realize, like, I'm out of order and the punchline doesn't quite work as well or something
That
because I
happens.
already set up that detail or whatever. But Speaking of the last Whiskey River open mic, I ate dick for 12 minutes. I'll say like 12 and a half minutes.
It happens at whiskey sometimes.
Oh, yeah. And I'm glad that I got like a real bombing experience.
I mean, it happens
out
at
of the way.
806 sometimes too.
Oh, yeah. See, it can't happen for me at the 806. I'm the god of that place.
I mean, the 806
3 times a month.
The 806 won't be like a complete bomb, you know, because there's still nice people there, and they're
Yeah.
like,
They're not going to
You know.
fucking boo you.
yeah. But like whiskey, if they don't care, they don't care. Like there's not.
They'll put 4 more quarters in that fucking pool table. Keep going with their night. Fucking,
Yeah.
yeah, it was. I didn't expect to close. Didn't expect to follow because I still thought Skylar was performing, and I'm like, surely
yeah.
I'm not gonna be the last. And then Logan didn't show up, and you're like, yeah, you're closing. And I was like, all right. And
Yeah,
by that point, no one even cared. Like there were like 10 people still paying attention. The rest were sufficiently drunk.
Yeah.
And
Honestly,
I'm happy with that.
I was just being selfish.
That's fine with me, man, dude. I know exactly the powers of being a host. Like I can do whatever the fuck I want. I decide the order. The more you pester me about it, the further back on the list you're
Because
going.
I felt like there's so many times where I close after
Man.
after like 15 people, and the whole crowd is just
Yep.
like, oh my god,
Yep,
dude.
man. and it happens. Yeah, it sucks, especially at the 806, because, and it's my fault, but my friends tend to take the brunt more often than like. Because if I know you're a regular and I know you're my buddy, you'll understand if I gotta push you back a couple of slots because there's 2 people who have never been here before and they gotta get home by like 11
Or just
to
say
take care of the baby.
cut your set in half or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's never an issue.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the worst is when I have to, especially like 4 or 5 people go up and they get their 3 pieces or their 10, 12 minutes or
Yeah.
whatever. And then way more people sign up, and I'm like, fuck, the only way that I'm going to get this on is if I tell the rest of the people who were already waiting, man, can you do like 7, 8?
Yeah. That
Can you
does
do
suck.
2 pieces?
That does
Oh,
suck.
it fucking kills me
But it's
because
also
it hits
just-
everybody.
It's a part of the open mic, you know, and that's kind of in a sense that's what makes it what it is.
Yeah.
It's like the you don't know what's coming.
And
It adds to the mystery of the 806, you know.
from
The
what
chaos
it's
is part of the culture.
Thank you for being that understanding. Some people want to kill me over
It really is, though. That's
Yeah,
what makes it
it's-
special.
fucking not to compare ourselves to LA or anything like that, but I'll listen to Rogan or whoever telling stories about this store, and they've got 3 fucking rooms.
Yeah, that's insane. And Dave Chappelle will hit all of them in one night.
Yeah.
I'm about to bump everybody.
For sure, though. Like, Dave walks into the room and people just get off stage and be like, you want it? But even then, like, if you're not a fucking headliner, you may or may not go on that night.
Yeah.
And they run from, like, 7 to 2. Like, you might sit there for fucking 9 hours and not go up for your 5 minutes.
I was listening to Bert Kreischer's podcast, and he was like, I was already 7 years in. I had 2 shows on the Travel Channel, and I would get bumped all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like,
Fucking, it does.
jeez.
Rogan. I mean, Rogan was already famous with News Radio.
Yeah.
And Fear Factor, and he'd get knocked around. Fucking, he got into his whole tiff with Carlos Mencia, and he wasn't allowed.
yeah.
He wasn't allowed
He
at the
was
store
banned from
for
there. That's
years.
such a crazy. It's crazy to think that actually happened.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
especially turning back now in 2018.
and it's it straight up the big deal with it was Carlos brings just as many, if not more, heads to my store.
Yeah.
If I'm banning anyone, it's you, man. Like,
See,
it
and I wasn't
was
even-
shitty, but
I didn't even know who Joe Rogan was back in that day. Like, I might have known him from Fear Factor, but like I didn't even know he did comedy until probably like 2012.
I didn't know he really did comedy until like a couple of years ago. Honestly,
Yeah, it's been
I thought
very
it was just
recent.
a meathead who did Fear Factor and did commentary for UFC. I knew he had a
Yeah.
podcast, but I thought all of his podcasts were just talking about MMA matches.
See, and I didn't even know he had a podcast until I met Skylar, and Skylar was watching it at his place.
Yeah.
And he showed me. That's when I learned about
He's fucking
podcasts.
funny. He's hilarious.
April of 2017. That's when I first started. I probably met Skylar in like May or June. So it's only been like a year since I've been listening to podcasts, and I'm like addicted to them. And I have one.
Man, that's kind of how like passion in art works. Is you figure out, I like doing this, and I
Yeah.
get some recognition, and I make some friends, and
Yeah. I used to
I
listen.
feel better about myself because I'm fucking productive at the end of the day.
I used to
Like,
listen to so much music, but now it's just like I'd rather listen to Joe Rogan right now, or I'd rather listen to Joey Diaz right now.
It's kind of why, yeah. Like I watch so much fucking news and listen to so many podcasts. Like I really don't listen to a lot of music. 'Cause if anything, part of it's because I would listen to music when I was in the car. And it's way easier internet-wise for me to just download a couple of podcasts and boom, that's 4 or 5 hours worth of shit for me to just put on and listen to, as opposed to flipping through tracks and changing out CDs or having an iPod to keep all my music
That's a
on.
good point too.
Yeah, it's more convenient. I feel like I'm hanging out with friends even if I'm not.
And you're learning something.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if I'm not learning something, then they're inspiring me.
Yeah.
They're making me feel better about myself. Something to that effect. But music, depending on what I listen to as far as music goes, I could be a range of emotions.
But when I'm listening to a podcast, I feel like I can still multitask. I can still be productive, you know. But
Yeah,
like when
yeah.
I watch TV, I'm just watching TV, you know. Like I'm not getting anything done productively.
Not a big TV guy. Can I take a pause real quick for introduction?
Thomas is gonna take a piss.
Take a
We're gonna
piss.
get this quick word from our sponsors. Do 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 do. This podcast is brought to you by Spitefully Spicy Salsa. Check out Spitefully Spicy on Instagram. It's the Instagram is it called a hashtag? The Instagram name. Y'all know what I mean. Instagram name is Spitefully Spicy. So just type that in Instagram. Order some kick-ass hot sauce. He's got like Italian, habanero. There's like 4 or 5 other flavors. I got to go back and read those so I can give like a proper ad. Because that was bad. That was a bad plug. I apologize. Colin. But Colin makes hot sauce and he puts it in bottles. And we ate it at this Buffalo Challenge. And they were super hot. And they were really good. He like mixes like fruits in it. There's mango habanero. There's like Italian scorcher. There's one that has like a ghost pepper, but it's like mixed with like strawberry. I think it's strawberry. It might be blueberry ghost pepper. Do you remember Colin's hot sauce names? I'm just over here ranting about hot sauce. They're all on my door. Can I get a beer? Cool. But anyway, yeah, Spitefully Spicy. And the other sponsor is No Third Lane. Go to nothirdlane.com. It's a lifestyle brand created by a good friend of mine. He's an entrepreneur out of Lubbock, Texas, Christian Spring. Shout out to that dude. But yeah, it's a lifestyle brand. He makes t-shirts, stickers, some hoodies too. It's building. It's on the come up. And he's also helping us create t-shirts right now for when we try to go on tour. So we'll see if that goes through. But we are getting some t-shirts. So if you're interested, hit me up, DM me, whatever. We'll get some t-shirts out to you. I think it'll be like 15 a piece. 20 seems like too much. 15 seems like a lot, honestly. Maybe we should do $10 shirts.
If you can get them cheap enough that $10 is still turning a profit and you're still building something off of it.
Definitely.
then do whatever makes the customers happy.
That's what we're going to do. And we'll give out free ones if you actually show up to the show.
Ooh, that's some incentive.
It is, right?
Because what's a show going to cost you? $5?
Yeah.
Get a show and a t-shirt.
Show and a t-shirt, and I'll give you a biscuit. But go to nothirdlane.com and Spitefully Spicy on Instagram. Those are all my plugs. I got 2.
Spitefully Spicy.
Spitefully Spicy.
I like that. Is that Collins?
Yeah. It's got its
Okay.
own Instagram page.
Ooh.
He said he's going to start putting like not recipes, but like actual food on there with the hot sauce on it or something. I don't know.
All right.
He's got big plans.
Collins always working. Always kicking ass.
He's going to be a famous chef.
All right. Where were we?
We were talking about music and podcasts, but
All right.
let's move on. What'd you think about Eminem's Kill Shot diss?
Ooh, I wish that it had the same aggressiveness that the rest of Kamikaze had, but I still think it's better than Machine Gun Kelly's
I do too.
Rap Devil. Like,
To me, it felt more like when he dissed Mariah Carey, and it was like a warning. Did you hear that one?
Yeah.
Because it was still kind of like a diss, but at the same time, it was like, I can destroy you, but I'm not going to.
He calls himself dad in it. He's very
Yeah.
much like, why would you try and mess with me? Like, this isn't a good move. And on the like, Eminem got so much shit in his earlier days for being a white rapper or for being super controversial and just calling everybody out. And he's the first to tell you, I would use your name just because your name rhymed.
It was funny, like the list of people he's dissed.
Yeah, because like he
dissed Moby.
And I'll banish him like Jennifer Aniston or
Like,
something.
he'll diss like the nicest guy who's who
he
it's
loves
a random
most of
dude.
these people, I'm sure.
Anderson Cooper.
Like, he doesn't have a problem with them. It's a fucking rhyme. It's rap. Like,
funny,
there's a difference between him like dancing around as Michael Jackson in a music video, like vomiting or something, and him going on the BET cipher and directly saying like, listen, Donald Trump, I'm talking to you and I'm talking to all of my fans that support you. That is a direct message. That's the fucking point of it. The majority of that other shit, no, it's just casual petty beef and stuff. And Machine Gun Kelly's a fucking idiot. You wouldn't walk up to Muhammad Ali, like, even if you were in love with boxing, you were a boxer. Muhammad Ali was probably your idol. You wouldn't walk up to him and just be like, "Pow!"
But it was a great like marketing move.
Oh yeah, people are talking about Machine Gun Kelly
He's
now.
probably selling tickets more than ever. Definitely more than ever.
I didn't realize he was still making music.
And
now his name's in my fucking mouth.
he's straight up clickbait now. When's the last time anyone talked about Machine Gun Kelly? The only song I knew from him was Wild Boy. Call Me Steve. Oh, which that song was really popular for a long time, but that's his last hit.
There
Really?
was a battle rapper way back in the day, like early 2000s, named Machine Gun Kelly, and he was a blonde guy, and he was significantly heavier. And I don't know if
Shout out to Atkins Diet.
I don't know if it's the same Machine Gun Kelly, because Machine Gun Kelly isn't even a really clever name. That's like it feels like you thought like, oh, who's a famous gangster?
Yeah.
Scarface, that's taken. Rick Ross, that's taken. Machine Gun Kelly, I don't think anyone else is named Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, that's true. That's a dope ass name for like the original one though.
Yeah, for sure.
He shoots
Robin Banks.
He
with
shoots
Tommy
people
guns.
with machine guns.
Yeah, like the whole gangster.
Why
like,
aren't those a thing anymore?
machine guns?
No, those no. But, high schools aside, no. I'm just kidding.
So they're Tommy guns with the big old round
yeah,
barrels?
with the big old fucking barrel. Those aren't a thing anymore.
I think.
Are they banned?
I think they might be banned. I think there was an issue with jamming. Like they just weren't effective clips. There's I can't remember what they're called. There's a name for those big old.
Yeah, I used
They
to know.
might be called barrel clips. Something like that.
They called them on something on like Grand Theft Auto, but I forgot the term.
Yeah, I know Tommy guns, the typical mafia bit, but I don't know why they're gone. Maybe because gun manufacturers stopped wanting to make them because they were so associated with the mafia. That might be a factor. I don't know.
Could
I'm
be
not much.
too.
I'm not much of a gun guy.
Me either. We got to get some gun guys on here. Pew pew.
Pew! Just big NRA supporters. Fucking-
Yeah.
No, I'm never. I support guns.
Yeah.
I support your right to own one. I just think that everything about it's fucking silly. There's no reason that you should be able to buy an assault rifle. There's no deer wearing fucking bulletproof vests.
But what's an assault rifle? Because they're saying like an AR-15 is an assault rifle.
Because that's what AR stands for.
No, it stands for Armalite rifle. ARMALITE.
Armalite, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I apologize for popping back at you like that.
Oh, you're
I
good.
thought it stood for assault rifle.
No, a lot of people do.
And there's no real reason to have a fucking semi-automatic.
But like,
if you can't kill whatever you're trying
but
to
every-
kill with
but
one shot, you're
every
a bad
pistol-
shot, and you
but-
need to go back to the training range before you're allowed to go out into real life with a gun.
but most guns are semi-automatic. Like the pistol I have is semi-auto.
Yeah, and a pistol is significantly harder to convert into fully automatic. A rifle, pretty fucking easy.
It's not that easy.
Yeah, you just buy a bump stock, so when the rifle kicks, it bounces off a spring and fires again. That's all. That's all a bump stock is.
Bump stock, maybe. Yeah.
It's just a spring
I don't know
on your
enough about
shoulder.
bump stocks.
Yeah, when you.
But
put a
it's not
gun against
full.
your
It's
shoulder,
not fully auto that way.
if
It
you
does. It
hold
does
down
something that
your
way, right?
gun, if you hold down your trigger.
Oh yeah, because you don't have to keep pressing it, right?
Exactly. You just click it, and then it
That's
fires
interesting.
back. Your shoulder eats the recoil, and it comes back, and now your finger's still held down, so it fires again, and it just
That's
keeps
intense.
going. That's the whole issue with bump stop conversion.
Yeah.
And I'm not even really against semi-automatic rifles.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think you're a shitty hunter if you need one. Also, if
Yeah.
you have a semi-automatic rifle for home protection,
Nobody hunts with an AR though,
Exactly, you have it for home protection.
because you want bigger bullets.
If you have an AR for home protection,
It take too many times. You gotta shoot the shit at those.
you fucking. If you fire a rifle bullet through a wall and you miss the burglar, you just hit your dog,
Maybe,
your sleeping
maybe.
kid, or something like that.
But my pistol has bigger caliber, so I could fuck somebody up.
Yeah, I mean, a pistol's a perfect home defense.
That's the
gun.
reason I have it. Like I don't want to carry it, because I don't want that responsibility. You know.
Joey Diaz brings up.
I want it strictly for self-defense.
You will attract weapons.
Yeah.
Like even if you're not showing
And-
off that you have a gun.
And if you're in that
There's
situation,
something about that energy.
if you're in that situation, you're responsible to stop
Ooh, yeah.
stop
yeah.
whoever it is.
Like
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, dude. That's Peter Parker, man.
Yeah.
He didn't stop the robber that he saw, and that guy went on to kill his uncle. Like with great power comes great responsibility, and fucking to flip it back to more recent news. Did you hear about the little blonde police officer in Dallas?
She like went to the wrong apartment and shot that dude.
She parked a floor above.
That's fucking crazy.
After working a 15-hour shift, so she was tired. She was delirious and delusional. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You work 15 hours as
I
a
mean,
cop. I'm
I
sure
could
that's
see.
exhausting.
I could see the honest mistake, but I mean, is she getting punished for? She's getting punished for it, right? Because
There was controversy because
that's murder.
She turned herself in, and it took them 3 days to
yeah,
arrest her
that shit's the fucked up part.
because she's a fucking cop. I guarantee.
And I don't
you.
think it was. I don't think it was racism, and I don't think it was cop related. I think it
No.
was a shitty, horrible situation.
I think the.
but she should be punished to the
Yeah.
full extent.
If the worst that should happen is she gets involuntary manslaughter.
See, that's crazy.
That's what she should get. She did not mean to murder the man. I do not believe.
I don't think she
meant
did
to.
either. But she still did it.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. And I guarantee you, if it was a black cop
Yeah.
that got into the wrong apartment and shot some pretty little white lady, he'd be arrested immediately. But it's some tiny little white girl who shot a black guy.
Yeah.
And the next day, after
Do you
they
think it's more
checked-
sexism or more racism?
I think there's a little bit of both.
Mm.
Sexism in why she's not going to get looked at quite as hard, and racism in like the next day they checked the crime scene and all that,
And they said he had
found
weed on him. Is that a real thing?
Wow!
Did somebody really report that, or was that a joke?
Well, no, and they found weed on the crime scene.
Really?
And wow. And people are like, cool, he's a criminal, and he was probably selling that weed, and he was probably fucking propagating
those are the worst
terrible
people.
Like, fucking, he was smoking weed in his own home.
Those are the worst
And then
people,
he got
man.
up because someone walked in his front door.
Honestly, those are the people
That's, yeah.
where it's like,
that's the-
I could never like be a Republican because this is the shit y'all say. Like,
If that's the fucking mindset that people want to have, I hope a cop fucking misplaces his
It's
apartment
insane.
around you.
It's insane. But I also think it's like I don't know.
I think that part's racist as fuck.
I don't know if it's the internet that's like making people shittier, or if they were just shitty and they didn't have a voice before. You know?
They were shitty before. And
Yeah,
didn't
they
have
had
a
to, right?
voice,
They had
and
to.
then, it's kind of the mentality of if I'm driving and someone cuts me off or something, I'm way fucking tougher in my car.
Yeah.
But the second I'm out of my car, face to face with that person, that's a different situation.
I saw a video of
may or
someone
may not
getting
be
shot
tougher.
over that. This guy, he cut him off. The full backstory was there was an Uber driver driving this woman, and the guy's boyfriend thought she was cheating on him or something. So he like pulls off in front, like cuts off the car, and then stops and slams on the brakes, and he jumps out and he says, "I have a gun." And the Uber driver's like an off-guard security guard.
Okay.
And it's pitch black, so he hears this guy say, "I have a gun." He pulls his gun out and shoots him. And it's just like that could have easily been avoided.
Yeah.
Like, why would you don't jump out of a car and yell, "I have a gun" to anybody? Especially like I don't know what state it was in, but Texas, that's like asking to die.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking when I was living in Georgetown, I was walking to a convenience store right across the street from my apartment building. And as I'm crossing the street, I see a car kind of like parked catty corner in the middle of the street. And there's a guy on the outside of the car at the driver's side trying to yank a woman out of the car, Grand Theft Auto style.
Wow.
Then ends up shoving her into the passenger seat, hops in, and instincts kick and I run over to the fucking car, and I get maybe 3-4 feet away from this car, and I'm like, this man is clearly jacking a car. He might also have a gun or something. For that 3 seconds of running there, I was like, I'm fucking Superman. I'm gonna beat the shit out of this guy and save this lady's life. Got about 3 feet away and was like, oh, I'm not bulletproof. So I just caught the license plate. Funnily enough, my roommate decided, oh, I'm going to catch up with Thomas at the store, so he saw the whole thing too.
Wow.
And we reported the whole thing. They eventually caught the guy. They flew me back down to Austin, which was pretty dope, to testify against the guy. But they're like, hey, you also get a 3-day vacation on us.
I thought you were about to say like witness protection.
No, but again, when I had to testify against the guy, and they're like, was that the gentleman that you saw rob the car? I looked at him, and he's like, I'll fucking kill you. And I was like, oh, yeah, it was. I'm like, cool, you'll be fine. He's going to jail for a long time. I do remember I gave my testimony to the police right when it happened, and I told them it was a purple PT Cruiser, and they gave me a call back to come up to the station a couple of days later to verify everything, and they're like, we caught the guy. Also, it was a Chevy HHR.
Those are really close though.
And I'm like, an HHR is like a PT Cruiser with body armor.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you for being mad at me.
Yeah.
I still gave you the license plate. That's how you're gonna track the car down, you piece of shit.
in a situation like that, like you could easily mistake cars.
I'm not a car guy to begin with. I'm a save a lady's life guy.
Funny. These guys
and take down 6 digits really fucking quickly and remember them as I'm freaking out calling 911. I'm that kind of guy. Fuck you and your Chevy HHR.
That's funny.
Piece of shit.
Those cops are on the radio like, This guy said PT Cruiser. What an asshole!
Because all that means is that a Chevy
clearly
HHR
a Chevy.
drove past them.
What kind of man?
And they were like, "Well, no, he said it was a PT Cruiser. No, but the license plate. Oh shit. Okay." That means they fucked up somewhere.
He doesn't even know what an HHR is.
You don't know your mom cars, man? You fucking 22-year-old punk going to the store. It was tough though because walked back finally to the convenience store. I was buying a 6-pack and pack of smokes, and the little old Vietnamese or whatever lady was, no, this is on me. I was like, oh, dope! I should have got a 12-pack.
I'll be right back.
I wish you would have told me. Give me a gift card or something so I can guesstimate.
Should have tried. Was that like right after the situation?
Yeah, like immediate because I was going there for smokes and some beer. I certainly needed smokes and a beer after that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was just random as fuck.
I've never seen Grand Theft Auto in person.
No, haven't seen one since. But
That's good.
It's
good.
Yeah, for sure. If anything, I didn't like going through the whole court process because they needed me for 3 minutes, just literally to get up on the stand, state my name, and sit and just say, point to the guy in the room who did it.
Mm.
I waited, and I got told to get to the courthouse at 5 a.m. 3 days in a row. Fucking didn't go on to the stand until the third day.
Yeah, that's a shitty open mic.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's like I don't even get to watch the trial. Like I just have to sit in a fucking hallway for hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because something could happen if I'm a witness. Like he could have family there or something that just turns around and shoots me, and now I can't testify.
That makes sense. What time did you leave on the 2 days you didn't go
Fucking
on?
like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
5 a.m. to 3 p.m.?
Yeah, just go up and I kept falling asleep.
Yeah.
Because I'm also on vacation, so I'm fucking partying with friends.
Damn right.
And I just moved away from there, so I get to visit everyone again.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, free vacation. I got picked up and dropped off at the airport by the DAs.
I need to go witness more like Grand Theft Autos,
Fucking move to a bigger city. I'm sure that should happen.
Anybody stealing shit over here? Just gonna drive around.
Fucking probably my favorite. It's not a Grand Theft Auto, but it was definitely like action movie material. Was we were in New Orleans and we're looking for weed. I'll never forgive my buddy for this shit. But I got fucked over trying to buy an eighth off a guy that I just found in the street. He sold me like a nickel bag of swag. And I was fucking furious.
What's a nickel bag?
$5 worth.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought, but I was like...
Nickel bag, dime bag.
That sucks to have to buy a nickel bag.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I was expecting significantly better and significantly more. But got gypped on that. The next day, my buddy hollers at me as we're walking around New Orleans and says, hey, man, I just heard that guy hollering for weed. I was like, cool, I got my last like $70 on me. I'm gonna go pick up some weed. I go up and it's a sketchy, tall, thin, homeless-looking black guy. My buddy who heard him is a pretty thick, strong gentleman. He's a big guy. I grab him, go over to the guy, set the whole thing up, and the guy's like, cool, just meet me in your hotel in like 10 minutes. All right. So we go to the hotel. We're sitting in the lobby. I tell my buddy, hey, G, you sit here by the front fucking door with all the security cameras and shit. When this guy gets here, we're going to go into the elevator. We'll make the deal. We'll come back down. I'll give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If I give you a thumbs down, I need you to just exist in the doorway. You'll block the door. You don't have to tackle him. You don't have to fight this motherfucker in the middle of our hotel. Just be there so it slows him down, and I'll catch up to him. Because I'm not scared of this cat. I just know he's fucking faster than I am.
That's always the worst.
Yeah, he hands me the sack in the elevator, hits the one, goes back down to the floor, and I open up this brown paper bag, and it is stuffed full of what my gardener friend would later identify as asparagus fern that he just ripped out of a garden somewhere.
Nice.
It's just bullshit grass. Just threw it up in there. So he did sell me grass. He probably sold me more than what I asked for.
Did he get you pretty high?
Oh, no. But the elevator's doors open up. I look down at the sack. I look up at G, and this guy takes off sprinting.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking waving at G like, fool get in
Yeah.
the way of homeboy. Just stand in the doorway.
Yeah.
He used to play football. Just be there. He does not.
Really.
So I take off after this man
I
down Canal
I
Street,
would have dove into his knees.
then into Bourbon Street,
Tuck and roll,
and then
bitch.
across probably about a mile of downtown New Orleans. Like,
Really?
we very literally like ran across. They sell they rent little like Power Wheels cars for adults. You can fit two of them in. They're just tiny little electric cars. There's a whole lot of those to rent from. We literally ran across, like hopping across these motherfuckers,
Wow.
dodging cars in the street.
Hardcore parkour.
He runs into one of the casinos, and I am 20 at the time, and I follow immediately after him, and the security checks me at the door, and they're like, ID? And I'm like, the fool just ran through here? I needed him. And he was like, oh, why? And I was like, he just fucking robbed me. And they're like, oh, he's probably out the back door on the other side of the fucking casino. And I'm like,
Definitely.
he's gone, man. And the security looks at me. He's like, yeah, he's gone. And I'm like,
I don't get paid to chase
Wait,
motherfuckers.
he's like, what did he rob you of? $70. What'd you pay the $70 for? Fuck you. I just walked back to the hotel.
What if he was like, I got some right here?
Yeah, right though. He probably could have hooked me up. I got back to the hotel and looked at my buddy G and I was, what the fuck was that, dude? It was, dude, you didn't give me a thumbs down. I was like, he was sprinting out of the elevator.
How was I supposed to know that was him?
The only tall 6'3" lanky black guy in a fucking gold hoodie. Like, you didn't think him running from me was a bad sign? Like, come on, man.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, it was dope. We eventually got hooked up. A gentleman, I will not bring up his name, but he runs a museum, or ran a museum at the time. He
Nice.
invited us to his address, and we get there, and it looks like a big old 3-story plantation house, because it was.
Are there dinosaurs inside?
No, a whole bunch of Negro art.
Hmm.
Yeah, we get there, and we're like, oh, are we at the right place? Thinking like it's an apartment building. And he opens up the big double doors, and he's, hey man, welcome to the museum. I curate and live here.
Nice.
We're like, cool. Why didn't we think about just going to the Negro Museum in New Orleans to buy weed?
You can't say Negro. It's offensive.
Oh,
I'm just
okay,
kidding. I'm
okay.
just kidding.
So people of color, pox. Oh yeah, lovely time. If you ever have the chance to go to New Orleans, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'll definitely check out that museum.
Yeah, dude.
There's like a museum of murderers. I forgot it's called.
In New Orleans?
Yeah, someone was telling me
Okay.
about it. They have like Jeffrey Dahmer exhibits and like famous serial killers.
That's pretty cool. I get into serial killers. So there's something fascinating about them.
There really
but
is.
also I think I like the detective work more than I'm not going out and like murdering cats and then working my way up to like couples at like the Kissing Ridge or whatever. But yeah, there's something fascinating about everything they do, and then the amount of man hours and time spent thinking of who the fuck could have done these crimes. Patton Oswalt's wife, before she passed, was working on a book that was detailing the Golden State Killer, who was California's most famous serial killer who was never caught. But his wife is working on this book, putting
Ted
it all
Cruz.
together. Oh yeah, it's probably it's Ted Cruz's father. And she, as she's putting this book together, she starts putting together leads that other detectives had look over, and she's just an author. So she gets really, really close to actually finding the killer as she's writing this book. She passes. Patton Oswalt kind of helps put her book together posthumously. And,
Really?
Yeah, and detectives help. That book was help in, oh, we weren't even looking at it from this angle, and they caught the motherfucker.
Patton Oswalt, man.
Patton Oswalt and his wife, man. Like, a comedian and his wife helped solve one of the
That guy
greatest-
must be a genius.
I mean, his wife,
you can tell he's smart from his
Well, yeah, I
stand-up.
mean, his wife that put it together and wrote the book.
But that's amazing.
But yeah, like she passed, and he was like, "This was my wife's last work. I'm gonna make sure it gets put together and published." Yeah, dude, Patton Oswalt's lived a hell of a life too, and like I want to say his special is called Annihilation, and it aired the day that she died, or was filmed like the day that she died,
Really?
or something like that.
Wow.
Something to that extent. But he was a wreck during the fucking show.
Really?
And he still went up and did a special.
That's crazy.
His wife had just died, and he, from what it seems like, he deviates from some of his script pretty much, and it gets sad.
I can't imagine that.
But he killed it.
I wonder how many times he if he just filmed once, or if he did 2 or 3 times where he filmed it, and that was just the best one, the one where he cried the least or something.
I don't know. He went on Stephen Colbert not too long after that. Talk about the special, talk about his wife, talk about her book, and he starts off the interview with, "Stephen, I'm not feeling the best. Could I have a drink?" And Stephen's just, "Yeah." Reaches under his desk, pulls out a fucking bottle.
I've always wanted to see what they have behind their desk, because
I do too.
They're always pulling out random things.
And I'm sure it's different every episode.
Yeah.
You've got your props and all that, but I want to know what is always kept behind each host's desk.
There's got to be so much space under there,
Oh yeah, Stephen Colbert's desk has a trap floor built into it.
I could believe that.
Motherfuckers can appear from underneath the desk and stuff like that. But
Stephen Colbert, man.
I know Stephen keeps liquor under his desk. Conan keeps scotch. Andy Cohen. He's the less serious Anderson Cooper, and they're best friends.
I didn't know
They
that.
might be lovers for all I know. They're pretty much the same person. Anderson Cooper is news. Andy Cohen is late night talk. Andy Cohen gets his guests drunk on that's his whole shtick.
Really?
Is come on and have a couple of drinks with me.
What show is he on?
It's
I've heard the name, but I don't know this dude.
I can't remember what the fuck his.
He has his own late show?
Yeah, and I can't remember what it's called now that I think about it.
Bravo Nightly Series Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen.
Yeah, Watch What Happens Now. There we go. Yeah.
I've never watched Bravo.
I don't either. It's just I'll see clips because he has Seth MacFarlane or Stephen Colbert.
That's cool.
He has pretty good guests on, and it's kind of like just getting drunk with your gay friend. He's the first just kind of lean back, kick a leg over the other leg, and so what do you think about this?
That's cool, man.
He's a funny guy.
I used to like David Letterman a lot. I like Jimmy Fallon a lot just because he laughs at everything.
He laughs at fucking everything.
And it seems genuine. He seems like a genuine dude. It could be an act, but
I think he's just a happy.
Yeah, I feel like he's just a happy guy. Just looks like he's fun to be around,
Apparently Fallon, I don't know if this is still the case, but
Fallon's gotten real serious.
He especially in his earlier days, and I don't know if it was more when he was with SNL or more early days of
The Man Show. Was he on? He was on the Man Show, right?
No, that was Kimmel.
Oh, okay. Never mind. My bad.
Fallon was notorious for doing the show, going out and getting shit faced, and then fighting motherfuckers.
Fallon?
Yeah, a happy little Jimmy Fallon. Apparently, it's not even a mean drunk. He would just go out, get too drunk, talk some shit, and get into a fucking brawl, and then he'd have his execs and stuff with him that are well, fuck, we gotta hop in this, and it would turn into a bigger brawl.
That's awesome. I wonder if those as execs could, hold their own. They were just oh shit.
I didn't think that Jimmy Fallon could hold his own, but if he's just going out starting fights with motherfuckers, I don't know if I want to go toe to toe with him.
Probably got some crazy sucker punches, man.
Yeah, he hangs out with the fucking Roots. Those guys go hard.
I bet, man.
Fucking, they grew up in the ATL. The Roots is the blackest band on television.
Yeah. It's a good point.
By far. Also, like, probably one of the more... Roots are easily, like, one of the most influential bands in hip-hop.
Big time.
Like, no one did live hip-hop like them. It was,
Yeah, for real.
oh, well, let's get a trumpet and 3 guitarists and 2 drummers.
And
like,
kill it every time.
Every time. And then easily one of the best rappers. Dude, Black Thought's...
Oh, Black Thought's amazing.
I think it was on Hot 97.
I've listened to so many of his freestyles.
Yeah, dude, he dropped like a 10-minute freestyle just off the top. And every bit of it makes sense. Like, it's no fluff, it's no filler. He just killing the goddamn game.
So dope.
Killing it. Fucking...
I heard him on a song recently. I can't remember what the name of it was. I don't know. Never mind. It's too much music.
We were just talking about, I don't really listen to a whole lot of music anymore.
Yeah, it's harder than ever.
It-
And I'm a big fan of hip hop, but like a new album drops every 3 days, and it's just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
dude,
like, and then,
you can't even enjoy what you want to enjoy. It's like I got to listen to this too. It's like it becomes like a chore almost.
yeah, and like if I do pay attention to something, then now I'm watching people's reviews and people
Yeah.
debate about it and all sorts of
Do you remember when you
fucking
could
back and
just
forth.
you could just buy a CD and that's all you would listen to for a month or 2, 3, 4?
Yeah, yeah.
Just jam it every day.
'Cause I was broke. Like I was lucky if I got a new CD.
We don't have the luxury of just listening to just focusing on one thing anymore.
I remember, like, before porn was accessible. like, John Oliver does a whole bit about. He's talking to cicadas because cicadas bury themselves and hatch every like 13 years or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, cicadas are weird.
I didn't know they lived
like,
that long.
Like every 13 years or so, a big wave of cicadas. That's why you don't always see cicadas.
Yeah.
You only remember like chunks of your life where
Yeah.
you'd find those little cicada things floating around.
Definitely.
But he's like, hey, to all the cicadas popping up, our president's black. Our next president might be the guy from The Apprentice. And we no longer pay for porn, TV, or music. And I think we've gotten away with it. I don't know how, but yeah, dude, no one really... If it's digital, you don't have to pay for something. Probably
Yeah.
the most complicated thing to not pay for would be video games.
That's true.
I mean, but even then, you can... If you're playing on a PC, you can download something.
But also, like, I don't own any discs anymore because I can just put them on my Xbox.
Exactly. Like,
So that's also weird. And it sucks because, like, even if you buy the disc, it still has to download. What kind of shit is that?
it drives me fucking
It's
crazy.
like, I want to play this game. I can't wait. You put it in.
Dude.
I got to wait an hour.
That's one of my big deals.
the
is
shittiest thing
When
ever.
I was a kid, you rented a fucking game, you popped it in the console, and you played the damn game.
Yeah. We've lost the beauty of video games.
Oh, yeah, fucking... Or the worst is, like, oh, I just got this dope new game, or this game just came out. Should I have to delete one of my games to make room for
Yeah,
this game?
that's a thing too. Because I think I have like 100 gigabytes. I don't have very much. Maybe
Yeah.
it's like 1 megabyte. I don't know how that shit works.
It's 1,000 kilobytes is 1 meg. 1,000 megs is a gig. 1,000 gigs is a terabyte. 1,000.
Okay, so yeah, I don't even have a terabyte.
Terabyte. No, terabyte's a pretty big.
I might have like half a terabyte, or like I might only have 100.
You probably got 500 gigs.
100
That's half a terabyte.
500 gigs, maybe.
Uh,
Might just be 100 though, because I've had to delete shit already.
Okay. Yeah, 100's pretty damn small for a console.
Yeah, you're probably right. Let's go 500. 500
Yeah,
sounds cool.
I think you're doing just fine, Xbox. Don't mean to be talking shit on you.
They're probably about to make another system in like another 2 years.
Oh yeah.
It's about time.
I think it's I think Sony and Microsoft are just kind of looking at each other to see what their next move is, because we've got about as advanced as TVs are going to go for a while.
Really?
Like we're working on Ultra 4K and 8K.
I mean, they're running out of shit. You know they're running out of shit when they start bending TVs.
Exactly.
Like, Oh, this is innovation. Your TV's bent.
We can't make pixels any smaller, so we have to fucking physically make more surface area by
We're gonna make a
bending it.
taco out of this TV screen.
Yeah, and
Fuck you, you'll buy it.
when they first came out, I thought it was going to be the dumbest idea, and I thought it wasn't going to work unless you were directly in front of the TV, and it works just fine. Sky's got curved TV,
Yeah.
and it works just fine, but it's egregious. There's no need for it.
Not at all.
But I think the next console, they're just waiting on each other to see who moves first, because probably the next console generation won't have discs anymore.
Wow.
Because instead of
That's incredible.
it makes more sense.
Yeah, it does make more sense, but damn, that's crazy.
Because if anything, putting a really high quality Blu-ray disc drive in a console is still expensive.
Yeah.
If you don't have to put that disc drive in, then you can say it. I'm just bullshitting numbers. Say it takes $100 for that disc drive.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to pay for that disc drive. Now you can spend $100 on more memory. So now I don't have to have discs because I've got like 5 terabytes worth of space.
More freedom. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good
And
point.
if you do still want to have physical games, we can put a 20 gigabyte install file onto a little chip,
Yeah.
like the Switches have.
That's crazy. Wait, the Switches have chips?
Yeah, the Switches have like.
See, I don't know anything about the Nintendo Switch. That's the thing where like the controller can also be like its own console,
it's
right?
like a little rectangular tablet.
Yeah.
And then the controllers are 2 separate things that snap on to
So you
the
can
tablet.
break them off.
Yeah, and you can break them off and then use them as motion control.
That's so
Like
interesting,
the
man.
Wii sticks, or you can hold it like a big Game Boy with a gigantic screen, kind of like a fat PlayStation Vita. I don't know exactly how they did it, but I think they're not called Wiimotes. I can't remember what the controllers are. Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons for the Switch have really, really sensitive vibration. So it's not just you crash your car and your controller goes brrr. One of the mini games that shows off the tech demo is you hold the Joy-Con like it's just a little container, and you roll it around, and you guess how many balls
Are in your hand?
Yeah, are in this little wooden container. Like, imagine you just holding a wooden container about the
Yeah.
size of a cigarette pack, and you got 1 to 9 balls in there. You've got to roll it around.
Jerk it a little.
Yeah, just wiggle it,
Gingerly
jerk it
caress.
a little, and guess how many balls are in there.
Mm.
And it's insane how accurate it is. You can feel
You can
like
feel
one
the
hit.
balls in your hand.
Like, yeah, you tilt it just a little too far.
Juggling on some balls.
It's a great little system.
Testicular. Fantastical.
Yep.
Fantastical. But yeah, I was looking at the Switch. It looks a lot like the DS thing. I think it's a little bit smaller though. They have them side by side. I don't know. It's a slightly different shape.
So, I mean, a Switch is about... I don't know how I want to describe it. It works if it's visual.
But
it's probably... If you put 2 DS's side by side and made them a little bit taller.
But the Switch is completely mobile, so
Yep.
there's no console outside of that screen and the
Yep,
attachments.
that screen is the console.
And then it just do you have to have like a smart TV to put it on your TV? I guess.
There is a dock that you can set it down and it'll charge on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what its signal is. Or
So
you
the
can,
dock is plugged into the TV.
dock is plugged into the TV.
That's super cool, man.
And then you could just, it's charged up, throw it in your backpack, take it off, go play Mario
Yeah.
at your job.
See, like I've never been that big of a Nintendo fan,
And
but they're
cool.
That's insanely creative.
That's Nintendo's whole bit. Their entire philosophy is we don't have to have the best graphics. Everything that we make has to be fun, though.
Yeah.
And, like, it doesn't... Even if you're a hardcore gamer, you can hop into a Mario game
Yeah,
and
I
just
mean-
have a fucking blast. I can still get frustrated at a fucking Mario game.
Hardcore gamers love like Mario, all the old school shit. Zelda.
'Cause fucking, I don't care how good you are at Overwatch or PUBG. I would love for you to go through Super Mario Brothers, and just use 3 lives.
Bro, there was a time when Legend of
There's
Zelda.
a reason glitches are in.
Legend of Zelda was like the hottest shit at one point. It was like Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. It was that fucking big.
Yeah, and Ocarina of Time is still one of the better games out there.
Yeah, that one was dope.
Like, it's infuriatingly difficult. I have no idea how.
I never beat it.
I don't know how kids did. Like, because back then it was hard to find a walkthrough on the internet. We had GameFAQs.com back in the day.
Bro, I didn't even know they had walkthroughs back then. But yeah, those little
They
gaming
were
magazines.
shitty text documents.
I remember going to like Walmart and Albertsons and just going to look at the game magazines.
Yeah,
Those are dope.
those
are dope.
They were cool, and I had Nintendo Power growing up, and even when I no longer had the consoles, I didn't have a GameCube, but I still was subscribed to Nintendo Power for some reason.
Nice.
I think I got it off of our schools used to do. They'd give you a pamphlet or a brochure of shit to go and sell to your neighbors or your parents' friends and stuff like that. And the more you sold, you worked your way up to different prizes. And a lot of the prizes were you get a year subscription to Nintendo Power, MTV Junior, what the fuck ever they were selling at that
MTV Junior, yeah.
MTV Junior, the magazine.
They did have some shit like that. Dude, I forgot MTV existed until I saw something a couple years ago. I was like, oh, that's still a thing. I totally forgot about MTV.
It's not music television. It's just
pregnant teenagers. That's the whole show.
just bitching and being
They should
mad.
just call the channel Pregnant Teenagers.
Just Lifetime for teenagers. Once upon a time, MTV was cool. They made made and broke a lot of artists.
But back in the day when I used to watch, basic cable, or not basic cable, is that basic cable? Regular cable.
Yeah, that's cable.
I preferred like VH1 over MTV.
I did too.
And Fuse. Like when Fuse first came out, Fuse was fucking
Fuse.
dope.
They were like the edgy rock and roll version of VH1.
Because Fuse would just... There was like when they first came out, they didn't have like TV shows, so they would just like play like different types of shows, but they were all music videos.
Yep.
So it'd be like top 10 of this band, and then 3 hours of music videos, and then top 10 of this band, and behind the scenes of this band, and it was just straight music. And they've added way more shit now, but
And for all I know, Fuse might have been owned by whoever runs MTV or VH1. I wouldn't be surprised if it was ran by whoever owns MTV, because they realized MTV doesn't show music videos anymore.
yeah.
Let's start Fuse. But then they did like MTV2 that tried to do music videos and be a little bit more alternative focused. I remember when I was living in one of my first apartments. It was actually my second apartment. I was like 16. We only got like 5 or 6 channels on our busted ass TV, and one of them was MTV Trace.
Nice.
And
that's how you learn Spanish.
oh man, I rocked the shit out of MTV Trace. That was always on in the background, and normally it was on mute. But
Really?
MTV Trace on mute is just as fucking good. Because their videos are fucking insane.
Or like American hip hop is like doing a thing right now where they're like blending with like Spanish, and it's like it's starting to become a trend again. Latin music's coming like mainstream.
I remember like listening to SPM and stuff like that when I was younger, and like there was always that like Mexicano Cubano like influence to everything, but yeah, it kind of dropped off. I think Pitbull kind of did it for everybody.
Yeah, Pitbull ruined everything, man.
And we were like,
Just shout the names of cities.
We love your culture, but Just slow it down.
Not that one.
You can drink Red Bull and vodka. You can sponsor for Red Bull or vodka. You can't do both. Like, slow it down, man.
Yeah, he's
Becoming a stereotype.
making a bad name for pit bulls.
For sure, though, like the dogs who have it the most oppressed out of all the breeds are like, hey man, could you not could you like tall Chihuahua?
Reputation to uphold.
Steve Hofstetter does a great bit about he compares gun control to dog breed legislation where some states don't allow certain breeds. If they catch you with a pit bull in Alabama, they'll put your fucking dog down that day.
Will they?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm allowed to have a pit bull in these apartments.
Yes, and apartments are one thing. Statewide is fucking crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. But he does a whole bit about comparing that to gun control. And then goes off to my other dog is a Dalmatian Chihuahua mix.
How does a Dalmatian fuck a Chihuahua?
Because something terrible happened. that means a Dalmatian raped a Chihuahua. Or the most badass Chihuahua out there just decided, fuck it, I'm climbing on and picking a spot and going to town.
So Taco Bell.
Either way, I love my little rape baby. Fucking love it.
That's funny though.
Oh yeah, dude.
I wonder how many like animal births are non-consensual. You know?
I would say the vast majority of them, because I've never heard a dog turn around and say, "Yes, honey." Go for it. I want to know how much accidental anal happens in the animal world. And just
Nobody cares.
The male dog's like, nah, this is even better. And like the female dog's like, you're still gonna pin me down, aren't you?
Animals,
Yeah, dude, I've never seen animal sex that looked happy.
That's true.
Like, one of them normally looks pretty fucking happy, but I've never seen.
Have you seen the two turtles?
No.
The turtle's on top. He's going.
I've seen a turtle fuck a croc. Not like a crocodile, but like the shoe, because it kind of looks like a turtle.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, this turtle went to town on a croc, and they're fucking.
Damn.
I didn't know turtles made noises.
I didn't either. That was the beauty of it.
Not too long ago, a couple of years ago, I was hanging out at my roommate's, and his girlfriend comes home, and she just comes running inside, just, guys, look at this. And out front, there is a fucking tortoise. not like a box turtle or a snapping turtle you would just find kind of like crawling around or you'd get at a store, but like this motherfucker is at least like 1.5 feet wide, smooth green shell.
That's a big ass turtle.
Yeah, it was gigantic, and like it had to someone with a pretty large herpetarium. Maybe that's just snakes.
No, you're right. You're right.
Whatever it is.
Because I knew a herpetologist, and is it reptiles?
Did you know a herpetologist, or did you go to the doctor for herpes?
No, I knew both. But what my biology professor, I did like college classes in high school, and so like we had a guy from AC come talk to us sometimes. And he was like, "I'm a herpetologist," and we were all still in high school, so we were laughing.
Lizards, or
we would laugh every time. I believe it's reptiles. Like,
okay.
I'll have to ask.
Regardless,
or Google. I mean, not ask.
Somebody probably owned this thing and let it the fuck out, or like what happened to us. We got the guy, we caught him, and we're like, "This is dope."
Did he pee on you?
No.
Oh, every time I picked up a turtle, it tried to pee on me.
Nope. And he was big enough that like.
Yeah.
Your hands are pretty wide. Like,
dick's bigger than mine. It happens.
We were like, fuck, we got a dope turtle now. We now have a pet. Where are we going to keep him? So
Oh, it's amphibians and reptiles.
okay.
That's cool. They put them together.
So just lizard-esque.
Yeah.
If you scaly.
And caecilians. It says gymnophonia.
I guess I don't know what a caecilian is.
Probably not saying that right. Caecillans. I don't know how else you would say that.
I got no idea. It's
legless amphibians.
okay. Snakes.
Yeah, just say that shit, dog. Don't make me look stupid on my podcast. What are you doing, Wikipedia?
We run to Walmart and we buy a pretty thick vinyl swimming pool that like you set out in your backyard for kids
Or turtles.
or turtles. We buy some sand. We make them a little beach. We get them some fucking turtle food. We get them some water. And this is, I mean, it's a wide turtle, but he probably only stood about 3 inches
Did
tall.
you get him turtle food, or did you just throw some leaves in
We
that
got
bitch?
some turtle food. And it was like this weird little like herby mix with some brown grain stuff looking in. Which I don't know how they don't confuse that with sand, but maybe it's not a sand turtle. Maybe that's why he didn't like us. Regardless, the wall is at least 4 times taller than this turtle is. Left him out there overnight. Came out the next morning. The motherfucker had chewed a hole through what it was pretty thick vinyl.
No fucks given.
And he was gone. We looked around the edges of the fence. We're not entirely sure how he got past the actual fence.
That's interesting, too, because he can't just...
Dig a hole or anything.
Yeah.
And he didn't chew his way through diamond metal
Maybe he
fence.
can dig. They have little claws, right?
Yeah, I think they can dig, but like through wet sand to lay eggs, not like grass and dirt over off 45th and Washington.
Be interesting. Let's get like a GoPro and put it on the turtle. See how his day goes.
That'd be fucking great.
Then we got to make sure we can find him again.
What do we put a tracker on the GoPro?
Yeah, track GoPro.
A turtle GoPro sounds. I guarantee you, if you set up a GoPro on a like Twitch live stream to a turtle and just let that turtle fucking go, like out into the city, hundreds of thousands of people would watch that shit.
That would be cool.
Just
I'd tune in at least for a little bit.
do on the little 360 cams.
Yeah.
So you can like scroll around and check everything. Watch them cross the street and just everyone like, turtle, no, just cars whizzing by and shit. He's still going. He's still going.
That would be crazy.
He gets clipped by a car and just flies off. The camera moves way quick.
Oh no.
Crash.
I would be shocked. Be like, the turtle's
be
dead.
shell-shocked.
Shell shocked. You'd have to put it in the middle of the city, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not safe for the turtle. It's not safe for your GoPro either. Like, the stream will eventually end.
It's like Game of Thrones turtle style.
You fucking send out 12 of them and have people vote on which one's going to last longer.
You've got turtles from 12 districts.
Yeah, you could do the same thing with, like...
12 counties.
Set up 12 frogs
12
on one
species
side
of
of the
turtles.
street.
It'd be harder to put a GoPro on a frog, though. If you get a decent-sized turtle, wouldn't be too bad.
like just because it's hard to, like, hold them down.
Yeah.
Like
you ain't
that bitch up.
You ain't even got to run up to a turtle, you know? It's like keep the pace with him. You just walk up to him and just, there you go.
You could probably just set it down. You didn't even have to strap it. You just,
Yeah.
all right. I carry this weight on my turtle shoulders.
Oh, this is cool.
What's he gonna do? He can't just roll himself over and get it off of him. Like, I'm so glad that they don't have fucking nerves.
Do they get stuck when they roll over?
I'd assume so.
Now I want to flip a turtle over. I bet he can like do some work with his tail and shit.
Yeah, especially like if his tail could like hit the ground. I bet he could get enough of a wobble going.
Wobble that bitch over.
But
That would suck,
depending
though.
on like how big the turtle is, and like if he's stuck on like a weird spot of ground. Yeah, I bet a turtle could get stuck. I'm sure there are plenty of dead turtle shells
Turtles
out there
are
that
a
are just
trip,
on their
man.
back. Yeah, they're fucking weird. What other animals just like, all right, I live inside a room Just
I'm
like
a-
I wear a room. Just
I'm a
whoop.
lizard with a tank on my back.
I could just pop. I could just. What kind of weird fucking defense mechanism is that? Just like if I just pulled my fucking legs up into my fucking pants and my arms into my shirt,
Yeah,
covered myself.
that's crazy. It's crazy stuff.
They're cool as shit, man. I love turtles.
They are. I need to go get a turtle. I'm gonna get a big one though.
They've got to be pretty easy maintenance.
No, he'd probably get pissed and start eating everything.
I guess it depends on where you keep them.
Ruin my apartment.
Because ours ate through a fucking thick ass vinyl swimming
You'll
pool.
probably chew through my front door.
Fucking you fall asleep, forget to feed him. It's gonna take him a few hours, but he's about to bite you. Fucking, I got caught pretty good when I was a little kid by a snapping turtle.
Damn.
Yeah. I didn't think anything of it. I was probably like 6 or 7, and we found a turtle in the front yard, just playing, and we were like, "Cool, well we got a turtle now." And I was like feeding him lettuce or something, and then homeboy's head moved way faster than I had seen it move before. And he
Really?
motherfucker got me. And
Damn.
they hurt. Their beaks, like, people who deny evolution are fucking insane if you can't look at a turtle and look at a bird and say, oh, these people were totally related, or these animals were totally related at some point. They have
Maybe.
beaks.
Turtles don't have beaks though.
Yes, they do.
They just got scary ass faces.
They got beaks, and they breathe through them the same way birds do. The only difference is some of them can go in fucking water.
I just looked up alligator snapping turtles, and these are like legit monsters, man.
Oh, yeah, and some of them get huge.
These are terrifying. They look like Bowser on Mario. This is probably what he was based on.
Yeah, Bowser's based off of the Turtle Dragon. And I think in some flips it's the Turtle Dragon King.
That's my next Google.
Nintendo's got a lot of Japanese lore and influence behind it. Yeah, down to like the Tanuki suit that you can fly with. The Tanuki is a red raccoon in Japan.
Tanuki suit.
Yeah, the Tanuki suit.
Is that where you like they jump
They-
off mountains
well,
and they have those wings?
No, that's a flying squirrel.
Oh.
Oh, or fucking,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's just called a
squirrel.
fly suit or something, right?
Oh, yeah, that's what the humans do.
yeah,
The
yeah.
animal that does it is a flying squirrel.
But that's similar to
they're
the.
called wingsuits.
Is that the same as the Suzuki?
No, Tanuki is
Tanuki.
in Super Mario 3. You could get this weird little raccoon suit called the Tanuki suit, and you could hold down B and run really quickly, and then jump, and you could flutter and fly.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Nintendo's packed full of Japanese lore.
Did he have wings on his hat?
In Super Mario 64,
Okay.
he had wings on his hat. That was one of the
I
best
thought-
parts of 64.
I thought maybe that was the same suit.
Nah.
No.
I'd be willing to bet they switched over to the wings on the hat because Super Mario 64 was one of their first really big American releases.
That was a super dope game.
Oh yeah, dude! Fuck. It's a whole lot of people's introduction to 3D gaming. Like,
I bet, yeah.
you had to have camera controls to.
That was one of the first
Yeah,
ones.
everything else was either first person or side scrolling, or like a puzzle game.
Yeah.
But this was. Nintendo's got the weirdest fucking controllers out of everybody.
They did. Do you
Well-
remember like an Xbox, the very original Xbox, the big round controllers?
Oh yeah, it's called
What the
the
fuck?
Duke.
The fuck was that?
They're re-releasing the Duke.
It's like-
for Xbox Ones.
It's like holding like 2 grenades.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just like-
gigantic. It had a black and white button, and
Yeah.
the fucking
Those are always in a weird place too.
the
'Cause
analog
they
sticks
started-
aren't even.
They started at the top and then they moved to the bottom,
Yeah,
and then they went. They basically were just like, why are we not more like PlayStation?
it was fucking weird. Like, none of it made sense. Home buttons didn't used to exist.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking now there's a button specifically for sharing Twitch video. I gotta run to the restroom real quick.
Thomas pees a lot.
Thomas pees a lot.
This podcast is brought to you by Vagisil. I'm just kidding.
Infowars.com.
Infowars.com. On it. Brain medicine. Cheese. What kind? All kinds. This podcast is brought to you by types of cheese. I'm going to check on the Giants and Cowboys game. It's 0-13. That's what's up. See, the Cowboys win when I don't watch, so I'm just not going to pay attention for the rest of the season. And then they'll make the playoffs or something. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think the stats are updating. Because Zeke Elliott only has 45 yards. That's kind of garbage. I think you need to step it up, bro. I'm going to stop playing fantasy football. It's not good for my health. Thomas is back. Yeah. Grab me one, too. I don't drink, y'all.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Dude, I was going to do Sober October, but then my friends wants to do Beer Olympics, and I already agreed to it. So I'm like, well, that ruins that month. So I guess I got to wait for Sober November, you know? But I'll probably drink on Thanksgiving, so don't drink December. But, you know, Christmas. So just drink once January 1st.
So
A few times February.
I would do like a sober month, but I perform too much, and
That's my excuse.
then there are holidays, and then someone has a birthday, and then some days are Saturdays. And
Some days end in Y.
yeah, dude, most of them, as far as I can put together, and any day that ends in Y, you deserve at least some
Yeah.
drinks.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go watch sports
No, Jack.
and not drink a beer.
Yeah,
What,
and
what are you, an
if
animal?
I'm gonna write, I probably want to have a drink.
Me too.
Yeah, if I'm having a cigarette, I'm gonna want a drink, and if I'm waking up, I probably want a cigarette. If I just ate, I probably want a cigarette. So I probably want a drink, and I want a cigarette after every time I eat. So unless I can get over not eating, then
It's funny.
yeah, man. So if you
I
want
know,
to,
you just went
quit
through-
drinking, just go.
You just went through your whole day of
Anorexic.
drinking and smoking cigarettes. You're like Charlie Sheen.
I'm normally smoking or drinking. Like, unless I'm physically doing work, I'm either smoking a bowl or I'm having a drink with my food, or I'm outside having a cigarette.
It's like I only drink when I smoke, and I only smoke every 15 minutes. It's not crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not fucking insane. It's not like I'm drinking when I sleep or something.
Yeah.
But if I could figure that out, I'd probably be on it.
You gotta get an IV.
I was just thinking, like, just hook a little bit of ethanol up
I
to
wonder
that
how
bitch.
much. It probably wouldn't take too much, right? To like.
Oh, if you were
destroy
just
you?
if you were just injected into your bloodstream, no, not much at all, man. Like, we measure blood alcohol content, 0.08% of your blood
Yeah, so
being
you just-
alcohol is too much to legally drive.
So you got to get a straw's worth.
Maybe like a half a straw worth. Just, I'm not a nurse. I'd recommend nobody go.
That's how I'm gonna overdose.
I'm gonna overdose.
But what if
butt
like
chugging.
what? What if like a tiny thimble amount got you like super drunk? Would you do it? And you didn't. Nothing bad happened.
Like, if I drank it or hooked it up to an IV.
Hooked it up to an IV, and just a small
If
amount, very
if
tiny,
there was
minuscule
if there
amount.
was like a nurse or someone like who knew exactly like my body weight, everything that would go into it, yeah, I think
145.
I would probably do most any drug if it was administered to me in its purest form by someone who knows exactly what the fuck they're doing.
That'd be scary
and
though,
they can take care of me.
because I hear cocaine in its purest form will kill you.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So when I say purest form, I mean it's like safest form. I don't want it cut with fucking Drano.
Yeah,
But
that'd
like,
be scary.
yeah, cocaine. Like, if you're doing
Drano
if
in
you're
my
doing over
bloodstream.
like 70% cocaine. Like you're pushing it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Cocaine needs to be cut.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, cocaine needs to be cut. If anything, it's because since it's so addictive, you're gonna do another line.
I just thought they cut it because it because it was
makes
easy
it cheaper.
and it saved
makes
money.
it cheaper. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're getting 100% pure Colombian cocaine, you need to cut that shit before you do it, or you need to do a very very tiny amount. And part of the fun of doing cocaine is the doing cocaine part.
Yeah.
So
That's terrifying.
if you do that second bump, that might be enough to kill you. But if you cut it down, you can do cocaine all night.
Wow.
Also, like if
So no cocaine's fine.
if you want to do coke all night, I can sell you my cut shit for $60. You get a good chunk. You feel like you got a lot, or I could sell you the exact same amount of cocaine. And it's going to be a whole lot smaller, and you might die. And now I'm not only out of customer, I got a cop that's curious as to who sold them this super pure cocaine.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, drugs. Know your body, know your source, know the drug you're fucking doing.
You can't know the source though all the time.
Yeah, most of the time you don't know the source unless it's like your buddy who grows.
Yeah.
Which is dope. If you got a buddy who grows, buy from him.
But anything that's like cocaine or
No, you really
above that, you're just hoping for the best.
If you're patient, you can take a chunk of whatever the fuck you have, be it a pill or a sample of your coke or a tab of your acid, and you can send it to a lab. In Texas, there's a couple in Austin that'll do it for you, and it's anonymous. They'll send that shit back to you and they'll tell you like, hey, this is 99.9% pure. Like, this is dope and safe to take.
But how do we know to trust those people?
Because they're a business that have been running for years.
Really?
Part of the anonymity of it is if you're going to be doing drugs, we'd much rather at least make sure that they're safe.
But how do they not get like busted? Do the police not check them?
Oh, yeah, but they're a service. Yeah, I'm like, it's the whole idea of if there's going to be drugs on the streets, at least make sure they're fucking safe.
Yeah. But so they have to stay pretty like low key?
No. I mean, you can Google it.
Because it just seems like that'd be like super easy to do, like a sting operation. Just be like, send your drugs in.
What you would do is you wouldn't have it shipped back to your house. You'd have it shipped to a P.O. box.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if the police don't know about this...
the police do.
Oh, okay.
But it's part of the legality.
They probably use it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, ever see...
That's if they arrest you and take your fucking drugs, that's who they're going to send it to.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it also works out on... I sent you some ecstasy, and it was bunk as shit.
I'm gonna Google where can I send my ecstasy.
Do it.
But the FBI's watching,
I would
bro.
recommend doing it under an incognito server or a VPN or something like that.
Yeah, see, you're saying things I don't even know about. So.
Ooh, you should learn about VPNs.
Like I see VPN like on my iPhone settings, but I have no idea what that means.
VPN means virtual proxy network.
Okay, don't be a dick.
I'm not saying, it just means and say like you've got an address instead of driving information directly from your computer to your internet service provider to the website and back. It goes to Sweden first and then goes to Jamaica and then goes to Cuba.
Are you lying to me?
And then goes somewhere else. And then it does that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times so that it's impossible to trace your computer. If I want to get a packet to somebody and it's a sketchy packet,
Yeah.
I don't just hand it directly to them. I give it to someone who gives it to someone who gives it to someone who gives it to someone. So it's not traceable back to me, but it eventually gets there. Yeah, that's what VPN is.
Wow.
Yeah, it was originally a government bit that started with Tor, the onion routing network, because onions have layers.
So if I got another server or another VPN, I could hack into websites that I'm blocked from, like Twitter.
Yeah.
No, I don't even want to do it. It's too much work.
And VPNs cost money.
Yeah.
They're like $70 a year or so.
Plus, I like feeling like Alex Jones. You know.
You're rogue.
Yep.
You're a maverick.
Very much so. I'm gonna ask to be interviewed.
They're all gonna hunt us down just for this podcast.
Probably. No, that kind of sucks. He's like getting kicked off all these websites, man.
I'm
I didn't take
completely
him
fine with it.
I didn't take him serious, but he was still fun to watch.
I didn't take him seriously either. But the shit he says about people isn't. It doesn't fucking fly in my book.
I'll still watch. Alex.
If anything, it would be one thing.
I honestly didn't even watch. I just watched the highlights.
Yeah, so, the highlights are still going to exist. They can't take him down off the internet.
Yeah.
You could still fucking listen to him. He still runs the show.
But you know, like he was gonna get even crazier. You know?
Exactly.
That's the thing. That's the beauty.
But,
in 5 years, imagine him.
I would be more fucked up about the whole situation if it was, he was out protesting somewhere and he got arrested for having his views. That's you stamping on his First Amendment rights.
For sure.
But if it's
a private
YouTube,
company,
it's a private
company
company. Exactly. Yeah. Like, no. Don't go around saying that
he's not
the
blocked.
Victims of shootings are crisis actors.
He's not blocked from the internet. He still has InfoWars.
Exactly.
He still has.
He could go and create his own fucking YouTube if he wanted to.
I think a lot of people have tried, and then they've just been like, "Fuck it, it's not gonna work."
There's been plenty of search engines that have tried to start up, but no one's been able to beat Google.
Ask Jeeves. You remember that?
Oh yeah, Ask Jeeves.
Classic.
Fucking Lycos. Fucking
Yahoo lost
it. Fucking AOL had a search service for a while.
Oh man, I forgot about AOL.
I remember AOL was just poor people frisbees.
Poor people frisbees. That's funny. My mom had an AOL account, so that was always my search engine as a kid.
My dad's a computer fixer guy. I don't know who our service provider would have been way back in the day. It sure shit wasn't Suddenlink. Altel, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm tired of paying for Wi-Fi. I pay $80 a month now. I'm about to get rid of the internet completely.
Fucking Elon Musk. That's one of his little tasks he's working on. Is
cheaper Wi-Fi?
Free Wi-Fi. Global.
All over the world, yeah.
Yeah, just setting up a little array of satellites up into orbit. Just saying there's no reason that people should have to pay for internet. If everybody had access to the internet, way more people would have jobs.
He's such a cool guy.
He's fucking wild.
Yeah.
I love him to death.
I saw him, he was addressing an article on Twitter, and he was like calling out this company. He's like saying, "You lied about things I said. You miss.
There's probably a lot of that.
You intentionally showed me in a bad light. Something.
He's
But I was like, damn, Elon Musk came out to fight. I didn't expect it.
He's in like I don't give a damn about him smoking with Joe Rogan.
I don't either.
Like,
I think it's dope.
It's completely fucking legal for him to smoke. It's fine. I was kind of surprised when he said, "I'm not a regular smoker."
Yeah.
Like, but he's in hotter water than all of that. Like, he called a guy a pedophile. Now he's being sued because
he called the guy a pedophile.
Yeah. There was a diver for the Thai rescue team.
Oh yeah.
With the caves and all that. And Elon sent over a submersible that could be a kid could fit in it and a diver could drag it along.
Mm-hmm.
and he got a whole lot of criticism because it was kind of late, and it would physically fit through what was a really complicated dive, because you'd have to take tight turns in this dive, and it's like a 5 foot long chunk of fucking metal. But one of the divers called out Elon Musk, saying like, you're just trying to piggyback and get some fame by sending us this thing you knew wouldn't fucking work, but you're trying to get some fame by using these kids. And Elon Musk called the man a pedophile. He claims that he has data to support it. I haven't seen it, and then the guy said he was going to sue him, and Elon Musk basically said, "That's adorable. Try and sue me."
Oh man!
I insure spaceships.
But I kind of want to read the tweet. He says, "Never saw this British expat guy who lives in Thailand. At any point where we were in the caves, only people in sight were the Thai Navy Army guys who were great. The Navy SEALs escorted us in, total opposite of wanting us to leave. Water level was very low, and you could literally have swum to Cave 5 with no gear, which is how the kids got in. If not true, then I challenged this guy to show final rescue video." And then he came back and he said, "You know what? Don't bother showing the video. We'll make one with our mini sub pod going all the way to K5. No problemo. Sorry, pedo guy. You really did ask for it." Oh man, the end of that is so fucking epic. Sorry, pedophile man. That's insane. Is that like a Samsung?
Yeah, like a micro USB.
I think I have one in the bathroom.
Ooh. I go chickadee check.
Next to the sink, there's a wall, or it's the opposite side of the sink.
Yeah, I just need it for a minute.
Thomas needs to charge his phone, so here I am alone. That rhymed. It's 3-13 now, with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Dak's 10 for 18 for 120. Not bad. Elliott's still got 49 yards, so not running the ball well. But anyway, Elon Musk, man.
He's a fascinating gentleman. He's about as close to an evil genius as we currently have.
I like him.
I do too, man. If he can get us to Mars, he will go down as the most influential person in human history. He took us to another planet.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But it would take a while to get to Mars, though.
Yeah, I think projections would be like 4 to 7 or 8 years.
Oh, shit, I thought it'd be further.
And it depends on how we're boosting. It could be further. I may be fucked off on numbers. I'm not a sure physicist.
Which would be like 100 years.
If it's 100 years, then we
No, it's probably not 100. I would have guessed like
20 or 40 sounds better than
I'm just throwing
fucking
numbers out
4
there.
to 8. And I don't know.
Bro, I think we talked about this last time.
Yeah, we probably did. Yeah. Fucking Mars.
Mars.
Elon Musk is doing all sorts of weird shit, though. Like, people forget he's the guy who started PayPal. Like,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
yeah, that's where he made his money, because he realized, oh, the way to make money is just to handle everybody's money and then take a cut. So anytime you're buying something off of Amazon takes their cut, PayPal takes a little bit of cut. You do billions of dollars of business every week. Cool. You're going to make your money pretty fucking quickly. And that's kind of, you don't even really have to do a whole lot of work after the system's set up. You just have to pay for people to make sure the system keeps running.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to keep making cars or anything like that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, he's... I don't know everything he's invented, but I know it's like a lot of things. A lot of insane things.
So, Nikola Tesla...
Not a flamethrower.
It's not a flamethrower. It's a blowtorch. Nikola Tesla who the cars are named after,
Yeah.
was notable for inventing. He had like well over 100 patents.
Yeah. But he didn't know how to market anything.
Exactly.
Because he was
Him and
socially
Thomas
awkward,
Edison.
like insanely awkward, right?
Well, see, that's how Thomas Edison likes to spin the story. Or it's kind of like
Oh, so
Christopher
it's not-
Columbus was a great guy.
It's
type
not
of thing.
necessarily true.
No, he was a ladies' man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Because I.
Thomas Edison was just richer and better at marketing.
But the
But yeah, Nikolai wasn't that awkward.
the general idea was that he was like
Yep.
socially awkward, like autistic type
Yep.
guy.
Because Thomas Edison won his show.
Thomas Edison was like the Trump
Yeah.
of that era.
Well, it's very much a Christopher
Low energy
Columbus type
Tesla.
thing. Low energy Tesla with his alternating currents.
Your coil will only be in Frankenstein movies.
Well, our energy output is going to be huge. we're gonna
Huge.
build a wall. The circuitry's not going to be the best, but don't worry. We're working on it. We have the best people.
And Thomas Edison, that guy had like a team of people.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until recently.
He was just kind of a face.
Yeah.
It was Edison
He was like
and
Steve
company.
Jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a pretty good analogy.
I learned from Ben Carson that a black guy like created the filament inside the light bulb.
I'm glad that Ben Carson taught you anything about Black history.
Me too. He taught me a lot. He had a lot of good facts. It was
Ben
interesting.
Carson?
Yeah, he went over like all the black inventors that don't get any attention in our history
Okay.
in history classes. And he went on for like 5 minutes. He named so many like people. It's crazy.
He was in your class?
No, I just saw it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
No, that'd be interesting if he was in my class.
Yeah.
I'd give him a hug.
He looks like a fucking pillow.
Seems super friendly.
Yeah, he looks super sleepy.
Real high.
He's one of the most well-respected neurosurgeons in the world. But he got put as the head of housing and urban development.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was like,
I'm pretty sure it's because Trump said, okay, we've got one black guy.
yeah, it's exactly.
Let's put him in the one thing that has urban in the title.
Because you thought the way it was going, I thought Ben Carson was going to get like a leadership role somewhere.
He ran for president.
I thought he'd be like with somewhere within the cabinet, and he's like, "Oh, you're in charge of housing."
And he does it. Yeah, if I need him to cut into my baby's skull and fix something,
Yeah,
awesome. But you don't need to be taking care of ghettos. He once stabbed a friend.
but it
belt
broke.
buckle.
Do you remember when
The
Trump
belt buckle.
was talking shit? He was like, "That never happened," and then Ben Carson came back, and he was like, "I so did try to stab him." I forgot who it was, but one of the Late Show hosts was like, "This guy's trying so hard to prove he stabbed somebody."
Yeah, fucking he got robbed, or he was at a local diner. I believe it was a Popeyes, because Popeyes is a local diner, and I was next in line, and I felt a man put a gun in the small of my back, and I calmly said, "Sir, I am not the owner of this establishment. I believe who you are looking for is in front of me." And I let that man cut me. In line. And then I got my sandwich, and I went and sat down and ate.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, if I'm in the middle of a Popeyes and I get held up, I'm going to churches. I'm going to KFC. I'm
Yeah.
going to Walmart and learning how to cook fried
I'm
chicken.
leaving. I'm never going back to that place.
I'm doing delivery. And the guy can leave it on my fucking front porch.
Leave it at my neighbor's house.
The money's under the mat. Like, oh, man. I've been... Just everything about...
I'd be walking around like 50 Cent, just a bulletproof vest.
Well, yeah, because the motherfucker got shot in the goddamn face. Vests don't cover your face.
That was interesting though, because he'd always talk about, I had a violent past, you know? Like, I used to be really angry. And no, you didn't. Fuck you,
No,
didn't.
man. You're not even good at bullshitting. Trump's appointees are fucking insane. Paul Manafort just accepted a plea deal
He got a plea deal?
Well, he's talking to Robert Mueller. He said, "Hey, I was about to go to trial. I want to talk to you." So
Yeah, so
he's gonna cut a plea.
he's
bargain.
gonna squeal.
Yeah, he's either gonna squeal
So he can.
and catch practically nothing for his sentence.
Are you serious?
Or he's going to admit to the shit that he did.
If he gets practically nothing, Robert Mueller's a bitch.
Oh, Mueller won't allow it. Because if he squeals and he gets practically nothing, he's squealing with dope enough information that the president's coming down.
Yeah.
Manafort can walk free. I'll give Manafort a blowjob if he gets
Would you
Trump,
really?
if he gets Trump impeached.
But he did
I'll get over it. I've kissed the guy
he
before.
did
I can't
illegal
be that-
things. He did illegal things with Russia.
Yeah, in support of Trump.
So how is
Manafort's
that?
not making fucking laws right now. If he takes Trump down, which is gonna be a difficult thing to do because
Trump's
you
not
have
making
to
laws.
you have to have 66 you have to have 67% in the Senate.
Yeah.
There's no way that we can get 67%. There aren't that many moderate Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just they're not going to do it. They're
Yeah.
not going to impeach Trump. That would be the first ever impeachment in American history.
Yeah.
The Republicans aren't going to take that fucking blow.
Yeah.
Like they're
And they haven't busted him yet. But yeah,
No,
it'd have to show it.
Everyone knows he's guilty. We just don't have proof. Trump is a
We
presidential.
don't know he's
OJ.
guilty. You
Everybody-
have to have proof to know he's guilty.
We have proof.
You
We
just
don't
said-
have the proper legal. Yeah, I misphrased. We don't have the proper legal proceedings to take down a president. Because just because you walk up and say the president shot a man in the middle
But
of
what
fucking
did he?
Times Square
What's the proof?
of what collusion with Russia?
Yeah.
Literally everyone who's under indictment right now, including currently Robert Manafort talking to Robert Mueller.
But Paul Manafort shit was like before Trump's campaign even started.
No, so
And they were, like, warning him not to hire
Paul
that guy.
Manafort has also dished out $160,000 to and through Russian campaign or for Russian campaign funds.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean we have documentation. He helped Russia fund our campaign or Trump's campaign, and actively supported dissidents and helped fuck over the Democratic side. That is collusion. That is not
that
something
proves the collusion?
Yeah, that's not something that could have happened without Trump's knowing.
Well, then if it's proven, they would come out with that. I don't
So
think it's all
to
the way there.
to impeach the president, you have to have 66% of the Senate. More
No, but
than 50% of the Senate.
But the proof isn't all the way there because they haven't came out with that yet.
Yes, we have. We know this exists.
But it doesn't necessarily.
That's the reason Robert Mueller is investigating Manafort specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, like
But that
we know
doesn't-
that happened. We just also know that there's way more. So we're waiting to
But that
figure out
isn't-
how much
that
more
doesn't
because
prove
we
that-
can't try a person twice.
That
It's
doesn't
double
prove that
jeopardy.
Trump was necessarily involved. Like they still need a little bit more.
Oh, I mean,
Like, it's real close.
We've got recordings, we have documents, we have signatures.
Then why aren't they dropping that shit on CNN?
Because you don't show your hand before you want to play it.
But how do you know we have it?
Because it's public fucking information.
Where?
It's one thing for it to be public information. It's a whole nother thing for you to take someone to court over it. Because if they take
But there's
someone
no
to
recordings out.
yes
I haven't heard any.
of Trump talking to Manafort about transferring money over, absolutely.
Transferring money. That was for hookers.
No.
Or porn stars.
That's Michael Cohen. Yeah, and that's porn stars.
You could be right.
Yeah,
You could be right.
two completely different. groups. Dude, he has, for a very honest man, Trump has a lot of personal attorneys.
That quit.
Yeah. Nothing about this is good. But no one's going to take him to court over anything, because if they take him to court over like 20% of the shit that we know exists, but that's the only 20% that we have proof of, once we get that other 80%, we can't use that other 20% because you can't be tried twice. It's double jeopardy. So it's best to just get everything together and just say, hey, you can deny this, you can deny this, you can deny this, you can deny this, you can't deny everything.
Paul Manafort received payments from pro-Russian party while Trump campaign chairman. That's the first story I found.
Yeah, and I believe there's audio recording of it.
Yeah, I didn't even type in audio recording. I forgot about that part.
Yeah. And honestly, I want to say 160,000 was all I read. I'm sure it's more than that. I'm sure that because they're not going to send everything over in one lump sum.
See, but they sent it to Paul Manafort, so it
Because
doesn't
he is
necessarily.
Trump's campaign advisor.
But it doesn't necessarily indict. Like it, you could potentially see, like, oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But you still have to have that.
Which is why
You still have to have the concrete.
Which is why Robert Mueller is still putting together a larger investigation.
That's close.
Yeah, yeah. And Manafort's talking to Mueller right now in a cell somewhere.
Can you imagine?
Like they're talking about this right now.
Can you imagine the people that are burning their Nikes? Like what type of shit they're gonna do if Trump gets impeached? It's gonna be crazy.
They're gonna burn flags.
They're gonna burn houses.
It's gonna look like Philly after they win.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's a wild situation that we're in, man.
Still my favorite president, just because he's a troll and it's entertaining.
He's probably the most entertaining president. Excuse me. But on that note, I wasn't too old when Obama became president. I remember being old enough that I had my own apartment, but I was pretty young to have my own apartment. Yeah. I'm sure there was a pretty healthy amount of outrage.
Oh, definitely.
We got a black guy for a president.
I went to Canyon High School,
but nothing like this.
I remember the day after he won, we were in Spanish, like first period, and she said, Obama's the new president. And then this guy goes, who wants to bet on how long it'll take him to get shot?
Whew.
Like, those are his exact words. And I was just like, holy shit. Like, it blew my mind that you could say it so casually.
Yeah.
Because they were guys I went to high school with. And they'd be like, oh, he's going to be the first president, or he's going to get shot as soon as he gets elected.
See,
and it's just like, holy fuck.
Dude,
it's messed up.
Yeah, the how casual someone can wish death on people kind of freaks me out. Like
Trump too.
I hate
holding
holding
a severed head.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Kathy Griffin is actually receiving Comedian of the Year award.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember from
by who.
I can't remember. It's a notable.
By whose fucking
festival.
Standards?
And it's all based on her comeback this year.
She's not even funny.
That photo. I know. She
that's fucking bullshit.
She was vaguely attractive 15, 20 years ago.
That's pandering
and that's only
so hard.
Kind of if you're into like weird ants.
Comedian of the Year.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I know though, right? I'm like, dude, fucking the like 50th worst comedy special that got flooded onto Netflix is better than Kathy Griffin.
That's so true. That's so true, man.
Dude, fucking Bart. Bart's been killing it.
Yeah.
Fucking Mulaney's had a great year. Fucking Daniel Sloss. I'm working through his stuff. He just dropped 2 fucking specials. Just like, I know I'm not Chappelle, but here you go.
That's
They're
badass.
both really good.
Ari Shaffir did that too.
I
don't know if that was an 8.
Idea.
That might have been at 17, but still.
See, I think Ari's was like one was like a 30, one was a 45.
Oh.
All right, regardless, here's 2 different specials. They're different themes. They're different rooms.
Yeah.
They're different feels.
That is cool. That's what I liked about Chappelle's.
Yeah. The fucking Equanimity, I believe, is the one that's in whichever one's in the fucking belly room.
Oh, it's Bird Revelations.
Bird Revelations? Okay. Yeah, the one that's in the belly room. He's just sitting on the stool.
One of the best specials ever.
Yeah,
because it's like an anti-special.
Yeah, it's the anti-joke of specials. Like he's just kind of. You fools want to know why I left? Just,
Yeah. It,
he just hitting the fuck out of his knee.
it feels like he didn't go there to be recorded. Like it was just a Tuesday night, and he's like, I'm gonna go hang out. And like it wasn't like he didn't have anything planned. He was like, I'm just gonna go hang out. I'm gonna go sit on a stool, smoke a little bit, and have a good time.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just set up a camera for like a week and just said, I'm just gonna go hit the belly room for like an hour, and whichever one works.
He probably did, man.
That's just the ability to just go up,
It's crazy.
just talk for an hour, and
Yeah.
be good.
Bert Kreischer said he already has a new 52 minutes.
Cool.
His special came out like a month ago.
Yeah. Like Secret Time like just happened. I'm like halfway through it.
Crazy.
I've got so many fucking comedy specials set up on Netflix right now that I'm like 20, 30 minutes through. Just
It's crazy.
fucking.
It's cool though. It's like I want to be able to write that fast, you know? To be able to write material that well and just have it ready. Just like, oh, here's an hour.
Oh yeah, and
Here's another hour.
it's. I think like having a different open mic and spot you can go and hit every single night.
Yeah.
Well, especially living in like LA, Hollywood,
Yeah,
all that.
because in
jazz.
LA you're gonna have brand new people every night.
Brand new people, you're gonna constantly be coming up with stories.
Yeah.
And you could just go up and like at the store, you do 15 minutes.
Yeah, and you're brushing shoulders with the best comedians in the world.
Exactly.
So it's like that you're gonna get better. Iron sharpens iron, you know, type shit.
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to swing through LA and just go and see
For sure,
the
man.
fucking store.
I'd love to go to like the Kill Tony podcast.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun.
Fucking Hinchcliffe's a funny motherfucker. Yeah, I just went blank.
But yeah, did you ever see that show? I think it was on Showtime or HBO. Probably Showtime. It was Dying Up Here.
I'm Dying Up Here. It's on Stars.
Oh yeah, but I watched it.
I think Amazon Prime or whatever the fuck.
I watched it on a website a friend gave me. It was only 2 seasons. I didn't want to say the name of the website because it's illegal. But I watched 2 seasons and they didn't get a third. But it was
Did they not get a third?
No.
Because the second season came out not too long ago.
because that red-haired dude, I forgot his name in real life.
Andrew Santino.
Andrew Santino. Yeah, he said they didn't get a 3rd season.
That sucks.
It does.
I
right?
haven't seen the second season. The first one was really good, and
First
it
one
was
was
a
good.
great cliffhanger.
The second season they start moving more towards the drama
Yeah, it's
and less towards the
stand-up.
stand-up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
people
it
hook
make-
up and
Yeah,
have
yeah.
abortions and shit like that.
Word.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll see the second season eventually, but the
I was
first
honestly-
season in itself was really, really good.
Yeah, I was upset the young black guy, I don't remember his name, but he had the fro.
Yeah.
I was upset he's not a real comedian, he's just an actor. Because I was so excited. I was like, I'm going to go look up all these guys, watch their sets on YouTube. Because I knew Santino and...
Santino, the big... Hold up, the young black guy with the fro or the older black guy with the
it
fro?
was... No, I know the older guy.
Yeah.
He's funny as shit.
Yeah, he literally used to work the store.
Yeah.
Like, he was that guy.
Santino. The blonde girl wasn't a comedian either.
I was about to ask. I couldn't remember her name. Yeah, because there's also who's the Hispanic cat that got into a
Al Madrigal.
Yeah, he got in a shitting match with Steve-O pretty much.
Yeah.
Just Steve-O's not a real comedian.
Eric Griffin was the older
Eric
black
Griffin, there we go. Yeah, Eric Griffin's funny as fuck.
guy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those 3 guys were like the only comics on there.
Dude, it's in the first season. Probably my favorite scene because it's a really well displayed fight scene. Most fight scenes, even if it's not like an action movie, they're still played out too much.
Yeah.
But they're talking shit on the comic with the radio host, and then they realize the comic's not bullshitting them. The radio host is stealing their fucking jokes.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, and they just turn around, grab him, and it's one fucking gut punch. They put him down, and then they start putting a beat on him. And I'm like, that's such a good fucking scene.
Yeah, that is
like,
a good scene, because then
that's exactly how that would have happened.
that guy runs up and he's like, "Oh, he's stealing jokes," and he starts kicking him.
Yeah. Like that's exactly how that shit would happen.
It's a bonding moment.
No one like did some crazy duck and then a combo to the jaw or anything. It was just, what was that? Okay.
But yeah,
Done.
I think I was so interested in that show just because I always hear comedians talk about the Comedy Store.
Yeah,
Like if
absolutely.
I didn't know what the Comedy Store was, I probably wouldn't have cared about the show that much.
And they had pseudo cameos for Robin Williams and for Richard Pryor.
Yeah, the guy doing Richard Pryor did it so perfectly.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
It's creepy how good it is. And it was produced and put together by Jim Carrey. Like, Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jim
That's
Carrey
cool.
grew up with Pryor and Williams going to the fucking store.
That's
like,
interesting.
And it's right when Mitzi Shore, the owner of the store, died.
Yeah, because it's kind of a dark show. Like it has some darkness to it.
Ooh, yeah, it's fucking
And when
first scene is a homeboy stepping out in front of a bus.
When you think about Jim Carrey, like his state of mind, it's like, oh, okay.
Well, see,
The darkness makes sense.
I'm really afraid because, like, you think of Pryor and how funny he was. You think of Robin Williams and how happy he was.
Yeah.
But then you think about how sad both of those two people were. And if you keep up with Jim Carrey, you know he's got his own issues. So, like, I'm really afraid of. I hope Jim Carrey lives a long, happy, healthy life.
Man,
like,
I do too.
I don't want anything to happen to Homeboy, but I can see it.
Dude, Mac Miller dying kind of put things into perspective for me because I was like, Kid Cudi's like my favorite artist, and he could have died like 2 years ago.
Do we know if Max was intentional?
No.
Okay. I know it was an overdose, but I don't know if it was intentional.
They
It's kinda hard to tell
still
with
haven't
that.
said what the substance was.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
So I thought that was weird.
I got chewed out a little bit because I didn't immediately realize that it was serious because Mac Miller's died like 3 times.
Has he really?
Yeah, I mean, it's like hoaxes and shit.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was another hoax, so I put up Pete Davidson as a stoned cold killer.
Oh yeah, that was funny. I saw one of those.
I got chewed out when I got to open mic. I got chewed out a couple of days before that, and they were like, "That's so fucking funny. I love Mac Miller, and he helped me through some hard times in my life." And I was like, "Oh, so he's actually dead. My bad, bro."
Hey, but also it was a joke, so shut the hell
Yeah,
up.
I'm really like Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande postponed their wedding and all that. So
That is crazy.
yeah, because I mean, one, they got engaged and were marrying way too fucking quickly for it to be anything more than a publicity stunt.
Yeah, and he's already got a tattoo of her.
Yeah, fucking. Two, Pete Davidson's one of the goofiest looking motherfuckers. Mac Miller was a goofy looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson's ridiculous. He's,
Yeah.
I want to say he is the youngest cast member that's ever been on SNL.
Yeah, he was on Guide Code at 19. He was probably on SNL at 19.
Yeah, I think 19. A good chunk
Which
of that
is-
went off of he's a goofy looking pothead.
Which is mind-boggling, because that means this dude was getting it at like 17. You know, he was probably hitting open mics at 16.
There's him. I want to say it's the Laugh Factory, but there's real young, like 17-year-old Pete Davidson stand-up clips, and I want to say in him he brings up like, 16, 17, whatever. He's a funny guy, and I love him.
Did you watch the Justin Bieber roast? He was one of the members on there.
Bits and pieces. It's been a while.
Everybody,
I've watched roast since.
everybody made a joke, like a different joke about the same subject, about his dad dying in 9/11. Every person had like a bit about it. It was funny as shit. That's such a mean thing to bring up, but it's hilarious.
Fucking how can you not? Seth MacFarlane tells a story about through a combination of his booking agent or his travel agent just being fucking shitty at his job, and him drinking too much the night before, he missed his flight, and that flight should have been one of the planes for 9/11.
Wait, who was that?
Seth MacFarlane from
Wow.
Family Guy. And this Family Guy came in 1999.
Yeah.
So, like, this 2 years after this when he's really blown up, and he was drunk and hungover, and his travel agent fucked up, and he missed his flight. And he's been drinking ever since then.
That's interesting.
Stephen Colbert lost his dad and his brother on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And so Stephen, he doesn't do 9/11 broadcasts because he's with family.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, fucking, there's a Jon Stewart.
Osama bin Laden's cousin died in 9/11. He was on the plane, like, flying it.
Yeah.
So
Osama
bin Laden doesn't really celebrate 9/11.
Osama bin Laden doesn't celebrate a whole lot anymore.
That's true.
Jon Stewart's 9/11 monologue, and none of the talk show hosts did a show on 9/11. They all waited until the weekend.
And Jon Stewart didn't.
Jon Stewart waited as well.
I thought he did a 9/11 broadcast.
And,
It's like ballsy. Fuck yeah.
But everyone was gonna wait a full week, and he just
Yeah.
waited the weekend, and they came back on Monday, and I'm pretty sure it exists online. But
I feel like it happened on like a Tuesday or Wednesday.
yeah,
I don't even remember.
But they were gonna give a full week or something. Yeah, I know it happened during the week. I was in school when it happened.
Me too, man. Second grade. Did a lot of kids get taken out of school that day?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Because I didn't
yeah.
even notice.
I got taken out of school.
Like I heard kids tell me they got taken out, and I was like, I didn't notice anybody missing.
See, I was in 5th grade, and we got a buzz saying like, "Hey, Mrs. Shane or whoever the fuck my teacher was, turn on your TVs. We've got a broadcast," and they showed us all the fucking footage.
Yeah,
and
I saw it.
It was more for the teacher.
I saw it, but I had no idea. I was
Yeah.
like, some shit exploded. Who cares?
Yeah, I couldn't wrap my head around.
I didn't realize it was in America because
Exactly.
You'd
I
see
was
that
like,
shit
where
every
the
day on
fuck is New
TV.
York? Like, wait, what are the
it's like-
World Trade Towers?
Like, oh, another
World
country's
Trade Center?
getting bombed, whatever. You know.
Yeah, and yeah, we got taken outside to go and do a prayer around the flag.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's invasive as fuck.
Good sentiment.
Yeah, it's just, hey, just in case there's any little Muslim 10th graders, let's all
Get
hold
out.
hands and pray. Also, can we have your parents' phone numbers? All right. What time is it? I don't have my phone number.
Excuse me. I had to sneeze for those past 20 seconds, so I didn't make any noise. But it's 9:52.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you got to get out of here.
I'm probably wrapping up soon. I'm getting a little sleepy.
I get that, man. I got to go to bed soon too. I probably won't, but I should. You know.
I know that.
But hey, it looks like the Cowboys won. So woo woo.
Hell yeah.
Another
Lead 'em,
Sunday
boys.
of watching no games.
My dad watches more than enough football for me that I can't even bother keeping up with it. I'll hear about it when I get home.
I watched a little bit today, but it was just highlights. So
Cool. Well, shout outs, big ups to the 806. We've got our second comedy focused open mic this coming Wednesday.
and there's no wings
No wings this time.
unless you're a bird.
We'll have birds, I'm sure.
Always have a
Regular
bird or two.
open mic the fourth Wednesday. Same business as always, 806,
So-
2812 Southwest 6th Street. They've got delicious food, coffee, wine, mixed
Gluten-free
drinks.
options.
Gluten-free options. It's vegan.
They got like craft beers that you ain't never heard of.
Facts. They got sarcasm coming out the baristas like you ain't never fucking heard of.
Never heard of. They got a sword in the back. Or is it a machete? I don't know.
I've got no idea, but I bet they do.
There's a dick on the wall at all times.
That is actually probably pretty fucking factual. That is probably a true statement. All right. Well, Mr. Villegas, thank you very much for having me over, sir.
Yeah, thanks for coming over, man. It was a fun podcast.
Absolutely. We knocked out some fucking time on that one.
Everybody take it easy.
Be good.
Bye.